CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
The deadline for 2026 to 2027 priority application and financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org/visit or by emailing admission@darlingtonschool.org.
Mark your calendar for Alumni Weekend on October 24th through October 26th. For information on hotel blocks and reunions for classes ending in 0 and 5, visit our website at www.darlingtonschool.org/alumni weekend. We hope to see you there.
For the Coach Groves Show, where we sit down with the head coach of the Darlington Tigers football team and talk about all things Darlington School football. Now we go live to Matt Davis and Ian Griffin, who are standing by with Coach Wayne Groves.
Well, actually, it's just going to be Matt Davis and Coach Wayne Groves today because Ian Griffin is on a fishing trip, and I should say with a PH and not just the F there, because he's into the band Fish and they're in town and doing a couple of shows. But he'll be back with us on Friday night. But we're going to have a good time today. This is the Week 5 edition of the Coach Grove Show. And, Coach, it's hard to believe that after Friday night's game, going to be smack dab in the middle of the season. How did we get to this point?
I know we anticipate it coming, and then when it gets here, and it seems like it flies by, so. But, it's been a good season so far, and, we're ready to hit the halfway point and then – hopefully take it on to the second half in the playoffs. So we're looking forward to it, and the kids are fired up and ready for a good ball game this Friday.
And we're super excited about it as well. And, of course, one of the things we're going to focus on during the show today is the fact that, you're getting ready for that second part of the season, which is obviously your region play. The non-region games are over, and we're going to dive into that in just a little bit. But I thought the first thing that we would do, Coach, is to talk about the previous game. You guys went down to Mableton at Whitfield Academy last week, final non-region game of the regular season. didn't get the result that you were looking for, but there were really some bright spots throughout the game. So I wanted to start with the positive there and talk about the aspects of the performance from your team that you felt went strong and some things that you can build on from the performance last week, Coach.
Well, it's no secret that, we've had a bunch of starters out, 8 starters out last week. And so, but being able to go out and still run the football and score 28 points and do some good things on offense, I thought is definitely a positive. And then, right now we're getting a ton of young guys, some, experience and some quality reps. So hopefully when we do get the guys back healthy, we've developed a little more depth that, and got those young guys, some, 4 freshmen on defense that played a lot. We're playing third string safeties last week. But those guys are getting some valuable game experiences against a really good playoff football team. And so we're learning. So when you can do those things, even though you lost the game, there's still some lessons to be learned. And, we're going to use those to get better and learn off the film and then try to correct those things and keep moving forward this week.
And, Coach, on that note, obviously we talked about a couple of bright spots in the game. Obviously there were some things in the game that you guys went right to the film and started to try to fix and those sorts of things. And a lot of that has to do with, obviously you pointed out the injuries and having guys that had a ton of reps and stuff like that and getting those things worked out. But what were some of the areas of improvement that you guys identified, looking at the film and that sort of stuff from last week's game in particular?
Well, some good things that happened is, we ran the football really well, like I said. The only time we really got stopped is we stopped ourselves. We had 4 turnovers in the ball game, 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions. Anytime you're the -4 in the turnover ratio, you're going to have a really tough time, winning a ball game. Almost, the statistics will say almost 0% chance when you turn the ball over 4 times. So, again, ball security, 100%, taking care of that football. That's the most important thing in ball games. So, you got to do that. In the secondary, some young guys, we got to get better communication, in the secondary, making sure that everybody's on the same page. And that's the main thing. So we didn't do that very well. So, we didn't get in the right checks, sometimes the different formations that we wanted to be in. But, when you're playing 4 freshmen on defense, some young safeties, sometimes that happens. So it's a learning experience for them. But to get those live bullets and to get it coached this week, we're going to be better for that.
Well, Coach, last week our Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game was a young man named Matthias Selle, and his role was elevated after Game 1 injuries to a couple of guys at the B-back position, and he has really stepped up and quickly became, an impact player for you, and he had a really big game. So what can you say about the way that this young man, has stepped up for the team, has been running the football and the other things that he does to help the team?
Yeah, well, like a lot of the guys, he's been baptized by fire real quick. But I love Matthias Selle. He is a great young man. He's one of those throwback players. He's tough. He's not your typical freshman. And each week he's gotten better. If you've watched the games, he's doing some better things every week. He's running the ball really hard. He's getting more explosive out of that B-back. But he shows up every day with a great attitude. He's got a great work ethic. He's got a smile on his face. And he just wants to do what he can to contribute for the team and do his little part. But he's going to be a huge factor for us for 4 years. I mean, you're starting to see some really bright spots of him carrying the football, and he's going to factor in on defense at linebacker in the next few years as well. But he's a key part of what we do now, and he's going to be definitely a key part in the future of what we do on offense.
And Coach, one of the aspects about the game last week I was just thinking about as we've been talking today. You've got an unusual schedule in which 6 of your 10, regular season games are on the road. And then, of course, with all the road trips down to Atlanta, I know that you guys will play, any team, anywhere, anytime, that sort of thing. But it does have to be nice that all the road trips down to the Atlanta area are done for this part of the season.
Yeah, they're definitely behind us, and that's always stressful anytime you go into Atlanta because you never know what kind of traffic you're going to get. Your logistics can always be thrown off. So to be able to stay on, Highway 27 and be, within an hour or less of the next few games, it's definitely a luxury for us. So, that's a good thing.
Absolutely. And also a good thing to get, your first region game of the year at home, which is going to take place this Friday night. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But before we take our first break, Any other standout performances from last week that you want to make sure to point out before we start moving forward? Obviously, on our next segment, we're going to talk about the black shirts and a few more things there. A little bit later on the program, we'll talk about your upcoming opponent, the Haralson County Rebels. But anything about last week's game that we didn't cover that you want to make sure you get in before we wrap up the segment?
Well, I thought our offensive line did some really, really good things, and specifically Bryson Jones, our center, and our left guard, Lane Brasington. I thought they really did, played their best games up front. We run outside veer a lot of times, old Lane Brasington's side, and there is tons of movement. And Lane, he's right at probably 158 pounds playing left guard, but he plays a lot bigger than that, and he plays with a lot of effort and a lot of energy, and he plays low, and he does his techniques, like Coach Loudermilk's taught him to do, and on the veer offense, and I was really pleased the way he played. Bryson did a good job on defense. He took a lot of double teams and held his own in there and played really well. And then Jace Donaldson also had a really good game. He's over 100 yards receiving, 100 yards rushing. So those three guys really stood out, as far as last week's game goes.
Well, one more question about last week's game, Coach, before we move on. And obviously, every game's different, whether you win or lose and that sort of thing. And so, it comes to the end of the game and you get ready to deliver your message. I know some thought goes into that. But what was the message to the team after the game last week as you get ready to move forward?
Well, one of the things, our first half was we made as many mental mistakes, and we, did not play very well in the first half. And so what I told him at halftime was, we can't change that. But what we can change is how we come out and we attack this second half. And I told him, I said, when I go home and watch the film tonight, I said, I'm not going to watch the first half first. I said, I'm going to watch the second half. I'm going to watch the second half first and see how you respond, being down with a little adversity. And I thought we played much better in the second half. It was a 14-14 game in the second half, and we played obviously much better. And so, that just shows that, when we focus and we get things right and we do what we're supposed to do, that we could play with anybody. And so I would love to have that game over to do it again and play that first half over. But we obviously don't get that opportunity. But I was proud of the boys, the way they responded after I challenged them at halftime, and I thought they did that.
All right, Coach, that's going to wrap up our first segment. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the black shirts. Got some other topics there in our second segment. But this is the Game 5 edition of the Coach Grove Show here on the WLAQ YouTube channel and Facebook live feed. And we're enjoying chatting some Tigers football with Coach Groves today. And we're going to continue to do so after a quick message from our sponsor. We'll be right back, folks.
Are you shopping for a new car, truck, or SUV? Riverside Auto Group has a location to meet your needs. Browse their selection online at riversideautogroup.com or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, Riverside Nissan in Rome, or Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group.
And we welcome you back. This is the Coach Grove Show. We're so glad to have you with us and have the opportunity to talk to Coach Groves today about some Darlington Tigers football ahead of the game that's going to put us right in the middle of the season. And we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. But right now we're going to talk about the black shirt, the highly coveted black shirts. It's a prestigious thing. You really got to earn it. So let's talk about that, Coach, for a little bit.
Yeah, on defense, Mr. Steady Eddie in the secondary, Jace Donaldson gets the black shirt on defense. I think he had one missed assignment on defense. And I tell the guys, if you can have four or less, what I call non-commits or missed assignments on defense, and you played pretty well. So I thought Jace played really well in the secondary. On offense, Lane Brasington, I know I mentioned him earlier, but really got some good push on the left side right there playing offensive line. So Lane Brasington from his efforts gets the offensive black shirt. On special teams, this is a guy we've talked about, and he keeps getting more and more playing time. He is on every special team now, but a freshman linebacker running back, Mike Barron, if you saw on the opening kickoff, he went down. He's playing the 15 position on the field, 15 position on kickoff, and he went down there and about clotheslined the kid, kept great leverage and made a great tackle, and then also made some plays on punt team, and then did some good job blocking on kickoff returns. So Mike, he just keeps getting better and better each week. So Mike Barron got the special teams black shirt. On simulation offense, we gave 2. We always like to give it to linemen that do a really good job. So my freshman German, Nicky Bruce, who is going to get some more playing time on the offensive line this week, he did a great job on simulation offense. He never comes out. He's either in there on offense, when we're doing offense, or we go simulation offense, he's in there on offense. So Nicky did a great job. And then Trey Moore, our starting corner, he jumped over on simulation offense when he wasn't in there and did scout team tailback and did a really good job of running the football and gave us a great look. So we gave 2 simulation offense awards this week just because both of those guys gave such great effort. So Nicky Bruce and Trey Moore get the simulation offense. And then on defense, he's a guy that gets out there every day and he tries his best to make us better. And he's won a black shirt before, so this will be his second one. And he also got one back in the spring. But this is my free safety sophomore, Ray Liu. He's my guy from China, but he's done a really, really good job, and he keeps getting better and better in each week. So Ray Liu gets the Simulation D black shirt.
Fantastic, and congratulations to all those young men for getting the black shirts this week. Well, I thought we could spend just a few minutes, Coach, talking about Region 6A D1 in general, since you're getting ready to start region play. And I'll just list the teams that are in this region, but you've got Haralson County, Pepperell, Heard County, Model, Temple, Bremen, and, of course, the Tigers. And when I read all those teams, I'm like, every one of those teams is a good football team, and it feels like on a good trajectory. So as tough as Region 6A D1 was last year, I think by and large, from top to bottom, it could be a better region this year because it feels like a lot of teams have improved. So tell us a little bit about the region from your perspective, Coach, and how you would describe the level of football that the fans are going to see when they watch any of these teams line up against the other.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really competitive region. We got 6 really tough games coming up, and there's none that you can a team on our schedule you say, oh, well, they're a cupcake. Every team has got good players. Every team in this region has a lot of returning starters playing. So it's going to be a very competitive region. These ball games are going to come down to fourth quarter. Play here, play there, and all over the region. I think Herd's the defending champion in the region, and they've got a ton of starters back. But again, you got Pepperell is much improved, Temple's much improved. Haralson County was 1-3 at this point last year. Now they're 3-1, and they haven't given up many points. They're playing really good defense and they're running the football. So it's going to be a lot of tough physical football. In the next 7 weeks are going to be really fun for a fan just to watch this unfold and to see some really good competitive football games.
We're super excited about it, man. No question about that. And then this is the second season of the current classification cycle. And I think that even after a full year of it last year, my eyes cross when I look up the power rankings and stuff like that and all the formulas. So I won't ask you to go into all of that. I guess it is what it is. You get out there and obviously try to win the games, and then the chips fall where they fall. Yeah. But competing in the region is still something, even with the power rankings and everything like that, that elevates the excitement and intensity. Every team that participates wants to compete for the region, and I know that's a big deal. So what does that mean to you as you get ready to embark on this part of the season to get into those region games?
Well, for us as the coaches and the players, we try to break the season up into 3 parts. You have your non-region games, then you get into region games, and then playoffs. So we're hitting that second part of the season. And so, when region play picks up, it means your intensity has got to pick up. The level of play has to pick up. And you have to do that if you're going to be successful. So I feel like we've had, some good practices this week. I feel like the players have been spirited. We're going to get some guys back that have been banged up, so we got that to look forward to. I think that's given the team a little bit of an energy boost this week. But yeah, we're looking forward to Friday's game.
Oh, absolutely. Well, one more question of this segment, and then we're going to take another break and shift our attention to Haralson County, which we've touched on just a little bit so far. But as we get ready to do that, in what ways do you think that your team has improved most during non-region portion of the season as you get ready for this second part of the season?
Well, we're battle tested. Mm-hmm. We're battle tested, and as we're starting to get some guys back, like I said, we've gotten some second backup guys, some third string guys, a lot of good reps. So, hopefully those things are going to help us. When we get into the third quarter, fourth quarter, maybe we can rotate some guys in there, keep our guys a little fresher than we normally would. So, we're looking forward to competing and having a good ball game on Friday, and I think our kids will be ready.
Well, this is the Coach Grove Show, and our second segment now concludes. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to shift our focus to the opponent this week. It's the Haralson County Rebels, as we talked about earlier, a much improved team. Looking at the record and a lot of familiar names on the roster, again, that you guys have seen the last year or so. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back and talk about those guys. But this is the Coach Grove Show, and we'll be right back.
Are you shopping for a new car, truck, or SUV? Riverside Auto Group has a location to meet your needs. Browse their selection online at riversideautogroup.com or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, Riverside Nissan in Rome, or Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group.
All right, we welcome you back here to the Coach Grove Show and our Week 5 edition of the program. So glad to have you with us and glad to have the opportunity to talk to Coach Groves a little bit more here on the program. And now we're going to start talking about the opponent this week, and that's the Haralson County Rebels. And when you look back last year, Coach, at their record, they only won one game, which absolutely shocks me because they were a super competitive team. I know they gave, lots of teams lots of headaches throughout the course of the season. And now, as you mentioned in our previous segment, they're off to a 3-1 start, got a lot more confidence coming into the game. So, when you look at the film on this team, obviously one of the things that I know you see when you look at the roster is a lot of the same guys are back from last year. You already mentioned that. So what stands out about the way these guys play, Coach?
Well, it's a typical Haralson County team in the fact that they're big up front. They have a big offensive line. They've got a couple of skill guys that they get the ball to that can really be problems. On offense, they're going to be based out of 2 tight ends, single wing offense. So they got, 3 backs back there that can carry the ball, and they got their big offensive line up there. They love, power plays, counter plays, ISOs, traps, sweep game, and they even run some quarterback counter. And then they'll break out of the 2 tight ends and get into some twins formations, and they're really good at the screen game, and they're really good at their combo routes out there to keep you honest, so you just can't just load the box 100% all the time. So they keep you honest on that way. On defense, they've been a 3-4 team. They're pretty multiple. Cover 2, cover 4. You may see them in some even front, some 4-man front as well, or maybe in some 3-3 stack. So we've worked all those things. And they play really hard. They play hard, and they're a good football team. They're much improved, so they're playing with confidence. Now from they tripled their win total already since last year, and so it'll be a good test for us, but one that we're up for the challenge for.
Well, Coach, let's talk about some of their dudes. You've mentioned some of the things that they do well. So who are some of the guys that really makes things go for this Rebels football team? Well,
the guys I want to mention, they've got like 4 guys that play both ways, not necessarily all the time, but a good majority of the time. Number 2, he's a receiver, running back, cornerback. That's number 2, Joel McCoy. He's a sophomore. Their wing back and cornerback, number 1, Kemp Boyd. Those are their 2 athletes they try to get the ball to the most. Number 10, running back, Jax Brown, who's a sophomore. He's the other guy that carries the ball a lot. And then 2-way guys up front. They have a big offensive tackle. Their best one and their best D lineman is number 77, Jacob Kilgore. He's 6'2", 290. He's 6'2", 230. He's a senior. And then their center and nose guard, number 63, Walker Ward. He's 5'10", 230, and he's a senior. On defense, their 2 linebackers, stand out, as well as their 2 corners that we just talked about. But their linebacker number 5, Luke Edwards, he's 6 foot, 185 pounds senior. He's the best one, I believe. And then number 8, Branson Williams, who's a senior, 5'10", 185 pounds. They're all pretty good players.
And I know we've talked about this a lot over the last few weeks, Coach, and we're going to continue talking a little bit more about this Rebels team in this game. But one of the things that's been impressive about the Tigers fans this year, whether you guys have been at home, which has been kind of limited, this is only your second home game of the season so far, or on the road, the Tigers fans have been showing up for the team for sure, and they've been into the games and loud and that sort of thing. So I know you would expect a big crowd and some enthusiastic Tiger fans to be at the game coming up on Friday night. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, there's definitely a buzz around campus because we're getting to come back home and play at Lakeside, and so I expect a big crowd, and I expect the Tiger alums and the bleacher creatures and all that to make a difference in the ball game like they did a few weeks ago when Ridgeland came to town. So we're looking forward to it.
And this is just out of curiosity, but obviously we've referenced the fact that most of your games are on the road this year. How does that work out with the schedule? How it works out? How many home games you get versus how many road games and that sort of stuff? I know it's different year to year.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately you'd like to make it 5-5 and then have your scrimmage. Unfortunately, the way it worked out where teams needed certain games, ended up being 6 home games last year and 4 this year. We had our scrimmage at home, so really 6 and 5 as far as the games go, home and away. So it's not as terrible as it seems. Yeah. And some of those road games are behind us now. So, we're not worried about that anymore. We're just worried about playing football.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Well, on that note, man, Rebels coming to town. What are your keys to success this week as you open up region play against Haralson County?
Well, the things we've been working on, we got to take care of the football. Obviously, every game, that's extremely important. It's probably the number one factor in wins and losses from high school to college to NFL is your turnover ratio. So we got to take care of the football. We have to have better communication on defense. We've got to get lined up. We got to play the call, and then we got to be great tacklers. The last thing, it's been a premium this week that we're working to keep improving on special teams. We want to score, set up a score on special teams. Kickoff return, it's the first play of the offensive drive is what we tell them. And so we got to get better in those areas. And so that's what we've been working at. So hopefully we're going to make some big plays on special teams and the practice will pay off.
Well, Coach, we always wrap up, our last segment and the show with Ian's question about, the uniform combo, but he's not here to do it. So I'll deliver the question today. What's the uniform combo coming up here for the next home game?
For the first time this year, we're going to go on the purple on purple. So we're going to be the purple people eaters.
I love it. That's awesome.
This week, and, that's always been a good combination for us. So hopefully it'll give us some energy, excitement, and kids will be fired up to play Haralson County in the purple on purple.
Super excited about it, man. Well, thank you so much for your time. As always, it's been a pleasure to talk some Darlington Tigers football, and we'll be excited to be there on Friday night and get ready to watch you guys open up region play against the Rebels. It's going to be exciting for sure.
Yeah, we're going to be looking forward to it. Be there, be loud, be early, and help pull these boys on because, like I always say, they feed off the fans' energy and they feed off the crowd. So let's come give them the best we possibly can. Our kids will play hard, and they'll represent Darlington in first-class, correct way.
Chris Hunter Stadium, Lakeside, the place to be. Friday night, opening up region play. That's going to put a wrap on this episode of the Coach Grove Show. Thank you for your time, Coach. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Well, that puts a wrap on the program. We hope you enjoyed the show. And, Tigers and Rebels locking horns in just a little bit. So stay tuned. So long, everybody. And we are glad to be with you here on a Friday night.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of the Coach Groves Show.
All right. Looks like we're having some issues at the station, so we're going to have to figure that out. Hello?
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
It's just a setting that gets out of whack somehow, and there's no explanation for it. You just roll with what you got at the moment that you got it. So welcome in, everybody, to an unusual start to our pregame show, but we're going to get this thing going one way or the other. We are live at Chris Hunter Stadium for Game 5, September the 19th, 2025, and this is where the rubber meets the road in terms of region play. It is 6A D1 beginning tonight. The Darlington Tigers are hosting the Haralson County Rebels. Darlington comes into the game in 2-2 overall this year. This is the first region game for both teams. Haralson County, they're looking a little bit different this year. They were 1-9 last year. They have already, at 3-1, matched their win total of the last two seasons combined. So this is a much improved, experienced team. So this is going to be a different look from Haralson County this year.
Yeah, and this was a Haralson County team that competed hard against the Tigers last year at their house. Darlington came away with a 21-16 win. But that was the first time these two programs had met since 1995. So this region has brought back an older rivalry, and it'll be Rebels and Tigers here tonight at Chris Hunter Stadium.
Absolutely, it will be. Well, what we're going to do, man, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break and kind of catch our breath. I think we got all systems go now. We'll take a 2-minute break, kind of reset. We'll come back, and when we come back in the next segment, we're going to talk about the coaching matchup for today. Some interesting details about that coming up. I'm also going to give you some key players for each team, and then we'll have a little bit later on our keys to the game that Coach Groves helps us out with every week on his show. So some of that will be reviewed for those of you that tuned in early for the Coach Groves show tonight. And then we'll have the results of the coin toss, and we'll get things going here from Darlington School at Chris Hunter Stadium. It's a beautiful night for football, 87 degrees, clear skies. By the time we get done with the game, we're going to be down in about the mid-70s. It's best time of year, no question about that. Well, we got some football coming up, but we'll be back in 2 minutes.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
And welcome back in for Darlington Tigers football live from Chris Hunter Stadium. Matt Davis and Ian Griffin with you to bring you the play-by-play call, whether you're listening on the radio or watching at home on the live stream. However you're with us, we're just glad that you're with us, and we're glad that we are where we are tonight, getting ready for some Friday night lights here from Chris Hunter Stadium and getting to watch the Darlington Tigers take on the Haralson County Rebels in the first region game of the year. And one of the things that we like to do in this segment, Ian, is run down the coaching matchup for today. Got two really good head coaches about to lock horns as well, so let's talk about those guys, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start with the Darlington Tigers head man, Wayne Groves. He's in his third season at the helm of the Tigers. He's 13-12 over that time period with 2 playoff appearances as a head coach. He's former defensive coordinator for John Reed over at Rome High School. 3 times during his tenure there, Groves led the #1 defense in the state. Prior to his work there, he was at Valdosta as the defensive coordinator, where his 2014 defensive unit was ranked #1 in points allowed. So this is a defensive-minded coach. But, again, we talk about it every week. The culture that he's established here at Darlington, super impressive. These kids play every snap just as hard as the last.
Well, let's talk about the man that's at the helm of the Haralson County Rebels. It's Randy Crutchfield, and Crutchfield is in his second season at the helm of the Rebels. Last year went 1-9, year 2 so far. We mentioned this in our opening segment of the pregame, 3-1. He previously served as the defensive coordinator at Wayne County, defensive coordinator at Dodge County, and then also the defensive coordinator at Temple High School. And again, this is a team that is really much improved over last year. And as you pointed out, they gave a lot of teams headaches last year. They were pretty talented and competitive team. They just couldn't figure out how to finish games with wins, but they've got that figured out pretty well so far, the first 4 games of the season. So this, no doubt, this will be a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody wants to start. It's a fresh season. It's region play. So this is a chance to be 1-0. So both these teams are going to come out swinging.
Well, now we're excited to relay some good news to you, getting some guys back for this game. So we're going to run down some key players for each team. And, Ian, let's start with the Darlington Tigers. One young man, several young men back in the lineup today, but one we're going to talk about first, and this is big time getting him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Went down in the first game with a hip injury, and we haven't seen him since. It's senior Miles Twyman returning to the lineup. He is the B-back. He is the backbone of this option offense, and he's also a heck of a defensive back as well. Had an interception in the first game and was injured, almost making another. He's the long snapper, so a lot of roles filled by Miles Twyman, and the Tigers are happy to see him back on the field tonight. Also accompanying him, a guy who can take it to the house anytime he touches it, and he's a heck of a special teams player and defensive back as well, running back Jace Donaldson. This guy, super explosive. He's got speed, quickness. He's got the whole package. And then we're going to talk about one of the big nasties. You can't win without him. And Bryson Jones is blowing up plays on defense, and he's blocking his tail off on offense. He's a key Tiger. No doubt.
No question. Now we're going to flip to the other side and talk about the Haralson County Rebels a little bit. A few key players there. We're going to start with #1, Kent Boyd. He's a running back, also a quarterback, real strong runner, 6'1", 190, so he's a pretty big kid. Can do a lot of things on the football field. And then you have Jacob Kilgore. Jacob is number 72, offensive and defensive lineman for this team. He's got the size, weight, and the speed to potentially play at the next level, according to his head coach, Crutchfield, from an interview I was watching earlier this week. He's 6'2", 230. And then you have Joel McCoy. And Joel is number 2. He's a wide receiver and a quarterback, a sophomore. He's a pretty versatile guy. They'll line him up as a running back, sometimes as a wide receiver, and he can make some plays for the team. But one of the things that's a hallmark of a Haralson County team is they've got some size up front, and that is one of the things that's helped make this team go over the years, is how much size they have on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and you can see it. Love the eyeball test we get to diagnose each time we get here in pregame and watch these teams warm up. And that's the first thing I said to you is they've got some girth up front. We'll see how well they execute, but they've definitely got some size on the line of scrimmage. That'll be something to watch in this ball game.
We do want to mention, as we get closer here to the kickoff of the game, which is about 5.5 minutes away at this point in time, that last week's Honeymoon Bakery player of the game was Matias Selle, and of course his role was elevated quickly after game 1 injuries to 2 guys at the B-back position on offense. Quickly became an impact player for the Darlington Tigers as a freshman, and last week scored a couple of touchdowns, was a key component of the success that they had running the football in the game at Whitfield Academy last week. So can't say enough good things about that young man and how he's performed in that role.
And if you get the opportunity, watch him when he doesn't have the ball, because the B-back gets beat on all night long because that option runs through them. So whether they get the ball or not, they're going up the middle and getting knocked to the turf. So Matthias has stepped in and done an excellent job. He earned that cupcake last week.
Captains are about to make their way on the field, and so we're going to do a couple of things here. We're going to relay the names and numbers and everything of the captains, and we're also going to give you our keys to the game as we get closer to game time here. But your captains for tonight, you're going to have Bryson Jones, also Miles Twyman. Talked about those two guys there and our key players of the game. And then, of course, we've got one more captain for your Darlington Tigers who's making the trot out there to the field right now, getting ready to line up and go to center field in just a couple of moments. And we're excited to announce that is going to be Jace Donaldson today as the third captain, and then we'll give you the Haralson County captains. But, man, the Tigers are going to be lining up today in their purple pants and purple jersey, so the pants and jersey combo that we have not seen yet this year, and it's been a winning combo for them. Super excited to see those unis.
It's really sharp, man. Really, really sharp.
So for Haralson County, their captains are as follows. Jacob Kilgore, talked about him in the pregame. Also number 8, Branson Williams. You're going to have number 18. That'll be Caleb Hughes. And then rounding out their captains for tonight, you're going to have number 19, and that is Judd Estes. And they make their way to midfield here as we get ready for the result of the coin toss. The rest of the Haralson County Rebels make their entrance out onto the field. So we're getting ready to see the Tigers make their run through the big Tiger head here in just a couple of moments. So looking forward to that. That's always a fun part of the action taking place here tonight, watching the teams make their entrance, especially the Tigers.
Yeah, we're going to get to see the American flag, the Jolly Roger flag, flying across the field as they're escorted by this Darlington cheerleader squad. And it's just an exciting night here at Chris Hunter Stadium.
It's a beautiful night, perfect night for some football. And again, if you couldn't make it out to the game, we're just so glad that you've chosen to spend some time with us so we can bring you the call and also the video live stream. Do want to recognize the crew that we got for you tonight. Here comes the coin toss. We'll get to that in just a couple of moments. And it looks like Darlington won the toss. So let's see what they decide to do with the results of that. And we're still waiting on the call there.
Will the trend continue?
Yes, it
will.
It will. The Tigers won the toss. They elect to receive and want to set the tone with that offense, Ian.
Yes, they do, and it's odd. We're 5 games into the season here, and every game the team that has won the toss is elected to receive. For years, it seems like the move was to defer. But not in 2025.
Definitely not. Well, let's give you the keys to the game because it's almost time for the game. And we're going to start with number 1. And this one is a key to every single game. A lot of times you get to the end of the game, and this has a lot to do with the result one way or the other. That's take care of the football, Ian.
Yeah. You can't put the ball on the turf and expect to walk away with wins, so you've got to protect it. Ball security is a key.
And ladies and gentlemen, get ready because here come the Darlington Tigers ready to make their entrance, as you mentioned, with the American flag ready to roll, and then the Jolly Roger, and they're wanting to build the suspense a little bit more. They had the smoke going, and now they got swag surfing playing over the PA. And ladies and gentlemen, here come the Darlington Tigers of 2025, and I got to tell you, they're coming in with a lot of fire tonight. They have got some motivation, and they are ready to roll. You can tell it's written all over them.
It's a fresh season. It's region play, and let's just say these two teams aren't strangers anymore. They played last year, so I believe it's going to get a little chippy out there. Got to control those emotions and avoid any costly penalties. But, yeah, I can feel a little extra bite in the Tigers tonight.
Second key to the game tonight, better communication on defense. Of course, one of the things you've had is a lot of injuries, and, of course, you've had some young guys that haven't taken a lot of reps and things of that nature, and it just takes a little bit of time to get that communication dialed in, and that's one of the things they hope takes a step forward here in this game.
And I noticed, we talked about some Tigers coming back. Stuart Grigsby, a safety who's played really, really well all season. They were playing a lot of young players with Miles and Stewart out last week in the secondary, so that communication will be better as they get some of their leaders back on the field as well.
Their kicker is Emilio Patino. He's about to boot it over to the Darlington Tigers as we get ready for toe to meet leather. That's definitely a good time to mention this last key to the game. Make big plays on special teams. A big return here on the opening kickoff would certainly fit that category.
And we know Jace can do it. Last week, Brooke Temple had a heck of a game returning the football.
And here is the kickoff. That one's going to be a short kick. They looked at the scouting report. They don't want to give that young man an opportunity for a big return there.
That's right. That one went out right around the 35. I think this will come out at the 40 to start. So they didn't want to risk putting it in Temple or Donaldson's hands. And last week we saw Whitfield start squibbing it short to Evan Parton, and even Evan got a couple of good returns in.
Indeed he did. So now the official will march it off all the way down to the 40-yard line, and of course that is where, well, actually at the 38-yard line rather.
Okay. All right.
So we are underway here, folks, and Darlington won the toss, elected to receive the opening kickoff, and they're going to start in their base offense. At quarterback tonight is Levi Duggan. There's the snap. He's going to hand it off on the first play, run it up the gut there with Miles Twyman getting the first carry, and he's able to get a couple of yards.
Nice to call number 12's name again after missing him for 3 games, and the majority of the first, really.
So he's able to pick up a yard there on his first carry after missing the last few games. And as you mentioned, great to see him back in action here tonight. So that brings up 2nd down and 9 here for the Tigers on this first drive of the game. Going to have 2 wide receivers, 1 in the slot. That's Nate Konchesky. Moore is split to the near side. They get it to Donaldson. He has found a seam across the 50, staying up, and he scoots out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So a big pickup by Jace Donaldson, and the chains are moving.
And the toss play worked like a charm last week on the road, and Jace Donaldson makes the most of his first carry.
Big run there by the Tigers. Going to send Konchesky wide to the right side. Got several guys back here in the lineup tonight. Good to see that. Duggan turns, is going to hand it off. They go with a B-back dive, and Miles Twyman keeps those legs turning and picked up about 6 yards. Good, hard run. Looking good out there.
Yeah, Miles has he's put a lot of work in. We've been watching this guy run the ball since he was a freshman. Every year he seems to just get a little bit stronger, but he's always been really good about running behind his pads and keeping those legs churning to pick up the tough yards between the tackles. And when you've got the dive working for that 3 to 5 yards, especially on first down, this offense opens up and you can really accomplish some big plays.
So now the Tigers are getting ready to line up here with a second and fairly short here after a good pickup there by Miles. 2nd and 5. Quarterback under center, Duggan ready to take the snap. It looked like somebody jumped on the line of scrimmage. It could be a false start here. Yep, it is.
Yep. So that's the first penalty of the game. And that'll back the Tigers up and put them in about 2nd and 9.
For the next play, we do want to take a moment to give a special shout out right now to Chuck Covington, who is watching on the live stream. Chuck, our entire community is thinking of you and sending our love and best wishes as you recover.
And that's our first in-game train. We had one in the pregame, so if you're counting at home, train number 1.
Don't start counting until the game, huh?
No.
All right, quarterback under center here for 2nd and 10. There's the snap. Going to throw a pass quick out to the near side. Hits Moore, is able to get the penalty yards back, and that's going to be a pickup of about 6 or 7.
Yeah, and this is a play that the Tigers have really gone to ever since the week 3 matchup against Ridgeland. Trey Moore with a nice catch there in traffic. Obviously, Haralson scouted this. They were really on top of that route, but a good pass from Duggan and a great catch from Moore.
So the Tigers go back to the line of scrimmage. Now they've got a 3rd and 5 coming up with 9:42 left in the first quarter. First drive of the game. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to turn, hand it off, run up the middle, and he got a pretty decent chunk of yards, but not quite enough to get the line to gain to move the chains. But he got fairly close.
I would think this is 4-down territory. You're not in field goal range, but you're deep in Haralson territory, so if you don't get it, you're not giving up great field position, and it's 4th and 2. This is right in Darlington's wheelhouse.
About a 4-yard pickup there by Miles Twyman. Going to have 2 wide receivers, Jace Donaldson in the slot, Konchesky split wide, and then you got Moore here on the near side. There's the snap, going to dive forward, and I think they got it. Quarterback is able to sneak above the line of scrimmage and grab the extra yard.
Yeah, it looked like he had great push, and they are going to indeed move the chains, and the Tigers are 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions, a big-time pickup to extend this opening drive.
So well done there by the Tigers to get the ball all the way down to the 27-yard line, get the 2 yards, and move the chains.
And we talked about Bryson Jones. That's who Duggan followed right up the middle there, the big fella clearing some space.
One of our key players today in the pregame show. It brings up 1st and 10. Ball's at the 27 in Haralson County territory. Looking to throw, got company in the backfield, and that's going to be a sack taken by Levi Duggan. The defense was on top of him in a split second.
Yeah, they were looking to take a shot right there on 1st down. A little play action to Twyman, and Duggan made his read. It was not there, and then there was traffic, and he had no choice but to tuck it and try to pick up as much as he could. But a good defensive effort there from the Rebels and their front four getting pressure.
And so after the after the sack, rather, the ball's going to stay at around the 27-yard line with just under 8 minutes to go here in our first quarter. So the Tigers have already chewed up the first 4 minutes of our first quarter with this drive. 2 wide receivers to the far side. And there's the snap. Gets loose on the turf. It's picked up by Haralson County. Knocked loose again, but I believe they came out with it. So no. Tigers get it.
Give Bo Powers a lot of credit because that ball was firmly in the hands of the Haralson defender, and Powers went in and stole that turnover back. Ball hits the turf here if you're watching at home, and you can see number 3, and that's Colton Hudson, get the ball. Bo Powers blasts in there, strips the ball back, and helps the Tigers avoid a costly turnover. Great play there by Bo. Don't quit on the play. That's the lesson you learn right there. Keep fighting until the whistle blows.
And great to see Bo Powers back in the lineup tonight. He was out with an injury last week. And, man, not quite full strength yet, but getting close to it.
He just impacted the game.
I'm talking about just the team in general.
Yeah.
Levi Duggan rolling to the right, going to put the ball in the air, and that is going to be incomplete on the sidelines. I didn't see a flag come in there, just an incomplete pass.
Now the Haralson defender, and I'll see if I can get his number. He cut on there. We almost intercepted it. Duggan rolls out to his right. Good block by Miles Twyman out there on the edge. And then Duggan fired late as he was getting hit, and he was trying to find Donaldson, and it was number 4, Junior Hudson, that cut on the ball and broke it up. You're in no man's land. It looks like they're going to stay on the field and take a shot.
And this is 4th and 13 here for the Tigers. Converted on 4th down before, but that was a bit different of a situation. We'll see what happens here. Duggan is under center, getting ready to try to take the snap. Going to have 2 wide receivers off to the far side of the formation, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout. All right, so Coach Grove's going to take a timeout. We're going to take it as well. 6:44 left to go here in the first quarter. We're scoreless. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
Friday Night Lights for you here on WLAQ and also the live stream. Darlington football, to be more precise, and we're glad you're with us here from Chris Hunter Stadium. We're glad to be here. You know, the Darlington Tigers, just the way the season schedule shaped up this year, have had to be the ultimate road dogs. They made 3 game trips down to Atlanta, but really got split up into 4 trips. And then from this point moving forward, there's not really but just one more long road trip. I believe we go down to Heard County later in the season, but all the rest of the games are either here or they're in the Floyd County area, which is kind of nice. So anyway, under center they go here for 4th and 13. There's the snap, rolling out, looking to pass is Duggan, and he is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Couldn't find anybody and had company in the backfield and is going to take a sack there.
Yeah, so far the coverage downfield by this Haralson County defense has been tight, to say the least. Duggan rolled out. He had some time there, but did not have anybody coming off the routes. They had to get 13 yards to get a first down, so obviously receivers had to get downfield. And by the time the pressure got there, Duggan didn't have anywhere to go with the ball. And instead of throwing a pick and possibly allowing a return, he just ate that one, which was probably the smart play. But 10 plays there for the Tigers, 5.5 minutes on that drive, and it's a turnover on downs.
And that's kind of a good news, bad news scenario there for Darlington. Big, long drive. The offense did exactly what they wanted to do as far as a methodical drive. Didn't come up with points, but it was a nice, long drive. If they can sustain those and come up with points, that'll go a long way against this team for sure. First play is a success. They pick up about 5 yards there on first down. And the quarterback here for this team is Paxton Ray, by the way. Where did this drive start, Ian? Let's see.
45 yards. Well, no,
Nope,
35.
35. So Haralson County about to go back to the line of scrimmage here with their big guys up front. They will line up in a shotgun formation as the quarterback gets ready to take the snap. Paxton Ray is going to hand it off, goes out to the left side, goes to Kemp Boyd, and he is streaking down the sidelines. He has got a fast motor. He's inside the 10. Nobody can get him, and he is in the end zone just like that. A 60-yard run to pay dirt for Kemp Boyd, who got down there in a flash. My goodness.
And Chris Hunter, there was a hush that has come over the crowd. 2 plays and a 60-yard touchdown.
60 yards.
60-yard touchdown there. And that was Kemp Boyd, correct?
Exactly. Kemp Boyd. And that happens with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The first score of the game, a 60-yard run again.
Actually,
by Kemp Boyd.
he stepped out of bounds, man.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
We'll scratch that off. Forget that. There's the snap. Going to hand it off, run it towards the near side. Driving with the ball is Joel McCoy, and he carries the pile down inside the 5 as they get close to the doorstep. I'm sorry I missed that.
I did too. I mean, it looked like he got in, but it's hard for us to see that boundary all the way over here. So the Tigers have a chance here. Right now, those big nasties up front, we talked about them in the pregame. They've definitely got some big boys on that offensive line, and they are getting some push up front.
And Paxton Ray runs them up to the line of scrimmage. We get ready for the snap. It's going to be a direct snap actually to Boyd, and he drives forward, but the defense stands tall and shuts the door. It's going to bring up third down. That was big-time defense right there.
Crucial third down here for the Tigers.
So they went to the Wildcat, directly snapped the ball there to Kemp Boyd, who is one of their best athletes, and Darlington was able to stand tall. Let's see if they can get a couple more of those.
That would delight this home crowd if they could find a way to get off the field.
And so Paxton Ray is back from the sidelines with the play call. He'll work his team back to the line of scrimmage. In the backfield with him is going to be, I believe, Junior Hudson. They'll switch around a couple of guys. Man motions. They're going to give it to the motion man, Kemp Boyd, and he scoots into the end zone from 4 yards out, and they're able to get that touchdown after all.
Well, you can just change it from a 60-yard touchdown to a 4-yard touchdown. Now, he was untouched that time. And that might count as a pass. It looked like a little pop pass, actually.
And it looks like they're going to go for 2 here, perhaps. See what they end up doing. There's the snap. They go to Boyd, throw a little pass, and that is a 2-point conversion. He throws it to the quarterback, Paxton Ray, and that is going to be a 2-point conversion. We move to 8-0.
So I think that was a 4-yard reception for Boyd, and then we see him throw a touchdown or a 2-point conversion there to
the
teammate.
Quarterback, Paxton Ray.
To Paxton Ray. But we've got a procedure penalty here. Yep. So
Okay.
that 2 points will come off the board.
All right, so
Well, Matt, everything was going the Tigers' way on that first drive as they were methodically working their way down the field. And now Haralson has come out and thrown the first punch. But if there's one thing we know about these Tigers, they do not blink in the eyes of adversity. Man, they're going to be just fine and fight back here when they get the ball back for their second possession.
We're just getting started with our night of football for you on WLAQ. Of course, we'll have the game for you. At halftime, we will have some scores courtesy of Rome Orthopedic Center. And also at the end of the night, when we get done with our post-game show, we'll have the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show with Lynn and Austin. So we look forward to that. It looks like they're just going to kick the extra point here and see if they can tack on one. Out to handle the kicking duties is going to be Emilio Patino. And here comes the snap. Kick is on the way, and that one is going to be through.
Good.
No, it goes off the upright, and it is no good. Wow.
So that penalty takes 2 points off the board because the extra point was missed. Every point matters. We learned that last time we were in these seats. We saw field goals get blocked and extra points blocked and missed, and it all came down to a 2-point conversion. So that's a big miss and a big penalty that negated the 2-point conversion for Haralson.
Here's your crew for tonight. Press box cameras, if you're watching the live video. Bennett Abernathy and Afton Taylor. You've got graphics. Caleb Bice, he's up here keeping us good company up here in the booth. You've got remote cameras with Kate Travis. Replay tonight is the head honcho of Northwest Georgia Media, Nathan Patterson, and director is Mike Garrett, who is holding it all together down there. Doing a great job as always. I'm Matt Davis alongside Ian Griffin bringing you commentary tonight. Lynn Butler is back at the controls at the foot of Mount Alto, keeping everybody in line there. So having a good time with you.
Indeed.
All right, so now Haralson County will kick it away. Emilio Patino, and they are trying really hard not to kick it to the young man that just got it, and that was Jace Donaldson, who brings it out across the 30 to about the 31-yard line.
They have a strategy that they're going to stick to here on the kickoffs to try to prevent the Tigers from hurting them in the return game. On the first one, they booted it out of bounds. Tigers started at the 38. This time, Donaldson fields it on the sideline and maybe got about 6 yards after he caught it to start this second drive at the Darlington 32.
So it's 6-0 in favor of the visiting Haralson County Rebels. We're off to a 3-1 start this year after going 1-9 last year. Here's the snap to Duggan. Going to go with a quick pitch. Gets it over to Bo Powers, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. They pull him out of bounds.
That's a big loss. We'll have to see where they stopped his forward momentum here. And I'm guessing he stepped back, so probably be a loss of 3. And the Tigers behind the chains early in this drive.
So the Tigers are going to line up at the 28-yard line here with 2nd down and 12 coming up here. Going to be in their base flexbone formation. Quarterback is under center, and that is Levi Duggan. There's the snap. Going to pitch it. Gets it to Jace Donaldson. Cuts towards the near side. Nice stiff arm there, but he's going to be pulled down, and not a very big gain there. Fans are wanting a flag here, Ian.
Well, I played it to the whistle. I didn't see anything dirty there. And Donaldson's forward progress gets that ball out to the 35, which puts him in 3rd and manageable. Here was the same play they ran on 1st down, but it was the other way, and Donaldson was able to pick up about 8 yards.
Wow, he got more than I thought he did out of that. So 3rd down and 5 coming up here for the Darlington Tigers as they will run to the line of scrimmage. Nate Konchesky's going to be split wide to the right side of the formation here for 3rd and 5. Ball's at the 35-yard line. Tigers are working from right to left. And here's the snap. Duggan dropping back, looking to throw, gets it into space, trying to get it to Jace Donaldson, couldn't hang on. And there might have been a little bit of green grass there, but nonetheless, it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that time Jace had a full head of steam coming across the field. He had a step on his defender, just didn't reel that one in. And the Tigers will have to punt for the first time tonight.
So the first drive was a good long drive that ended up in a turnover on downs, and their second drive a bit shorter, and they will have to punt it away after going 3 and out. So here comes the punt here from Moore.
Beauty.
Put some good air underneath it, and that's going to take a bounce and go out of bounds at about the 43. So it's going to be good field position here for Haralson County.
It was good hang time. Just got a bad bounce on that one as it hit around the 37-yard line and bounced back all the way out to they're spotting that at the 44. So Haralson has pretty good field position here, and Darlington got gashed in the run game on that first Haralson drive. Coach Groves is out there talking to his guys, getting them in the right position here so they can try and shut it down going forward.
So Haralson County with a 6-0 lead gets the ball back with 2:45 left to go in the first quarter. They run back to the line of scrimmage. They're in their road white uniforms with red, white, and blue trim there. There's the snap. Quarterback Ray's going to hand it off. They go with a big boy on that play, and he carries the pile down to about the 47-yard line. So that was pick up about 4 yards, Ian. What was that young man's name?
Jax Brown on the carry. Big number 10. He's a load, but the Tigers got to him early and pulled him down. I think it was, wow, I got 3 yards out of that. That's pretty remarkable. He just kind of carried 2 or 3 Tigers on his back as he fell forward.
So it brings up 2nd down and 7 here with 2:13 left to go in the first quarter as the Haralson County Rebels go back to the line of scrimmage here. With 2nd and long. Ray lines them up in a shotgun formation, but with everybody in tight as we get ready for the snap. There it is. Quarterback's going to run the ball, stays up, scoots through the line of scrimmage. It's a foot race, folks, and catching up with him's Donaldson, saves the touchdown, but they're going to be inside the 10 with 1st and goal.
Yeah, quarterback draw all the way right there, and Paxton Ray just tucked it and found a seam, got behind his blocker, and that was Colton Hudson, put his hand on his back, and he had a step, but Jace Donaldson used the afterburners there to make a play and give this Tigers defense a chance to prevent the touchdown. Heck of an effort and hustle play there from Jace Donaldson, but you wouldn't expect anything else from number 6.
Oh, man, it feels like that kid is everywhere on every play. So they are going to line up. Looks like they're going to go Wildcat to Kent Boyd again for this play. We've seen that before in this game, and he will follow one of his men all the way down to the goal line. I don't think he got in. He got awfully close. I think he's going to be about the 1 yard line.
Yeah, down to 1 there. And Boyd is a long running back, big-bodied too. These guys, I recognized a lot of these names, but they have obviously put some work in the training room and gotten bigger and faster between last season and this season.
So Haralson County trying to punch it in from the 1 yard line. They're going to go back to the Wildcat to Boyd. He's got the ball, drives in, and spins around into the end zone. A 1 yard touchdown run. That's his 2nd score of the football game, Ian.
So a 4-play, 56-yard drive there, capped off by a 1 yard run from Kemp Boyd, his 2nd touchdown of the game, as you mentioned, Matt. And right now the Tigers are going to have to punch back as the Rebels have come out swinging.
Emilio Patino on for the extra, and he gets ready to line up. And it's 12-0 pending PAT with 50.4 seconds left in the quarter, and this one is going to be right down Broadway. His first extra point went off one of the posts. And but this one's right through, Ian.
Yeah, he split the sticks that time. 13-0 is your score here with 50 seconds left in the first quarter. And the Tigers will get the ball back on offense and see if they can get something going. Tried to get things going on the outside in that last drive and then had to pass because they were forced into a 3rd and long. So I'll be interested to see if they start off between the tackles here with Miles Twyman, maybe sneak that trap play that they like to run in and see if they can get some push up front and grind this out. 3 yards in a cloud of dust and a nice long drive would be a great recipe for this next drive.
I'll tell you what, man, when I watch football games, I really feel for the kickers in different situations. I know that today I saw the news that came up that Young Hoku was let go by the Atlanta Falcons. That has got to be about as high pressure as it gets.
You know, there are 32 teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 32 teams. I don't know if you remember Sean Powell. He's a Roman that ended up punter for Florida State, and he was drafted by the Buffalo Bills, and that's what he said. He's like, there are only 32 of these jobs. Mm-hmm. If you don't execute at the highest level, there's somebody waiting to take it.
Patino ready to kick it away here for Haralson County, and that's going to be a squib, a little bit different look this time, picked up by Moore. He falls on the ball at about the 28-yard line.
And that's where Darlington will start their 3rd drive of the game.
Oh, yeah, I had the opportunity to watch Sean play as a Tiger, but also down at Florida State. Went down there to a bowl game, saw him kick there, and had him on. We had a sports talk show on Saturdays for a while on WLAQ. He came out when he was with the Bills one time and then called in a time or two. Always a really nice person to talk to.
Yeah, great punter too. But yeah, it's just that quick, man. Your job can be gone if you don't. If you know, there's always a guy waiting in the wings.
Under center is Duggan here on 1st and 10 from the 28, and he is going to pitch it, gets it over to Bo Powers running out to the right side, and he's going to be dropped at around the line of scrimmage.
The penetration that this Rebels defensive line is getting, really disrupting the offense right now, and then I'm impressed with their sideline-to-sideline speed as well, because you see right here, Duggan gets outside, it's disrupted immediately, has to make the pitch a little bit early, but then the pursuit to the sideline, you got 2 Rebels out there all over Bo Powers, but just really, really excellent defense there by Haralson.
And so after a short loss, that's going to bring the Tigers to 2nd and 11, ball at the 26-yard line. And they're going to line up under center. Got 3 wide receivers this time, 2 to the near side. Dropping back is Duggan. Quick pass out to the right side, connects with Konchesky, and he's able to pick up about 5 yards.
And they are not giving these receivers a big cushion here, and that's Kemp Boyd that's out there on the coverage. Duggan takes a 3-step drop and fires. Konchesky almost got away. Boyd got him by the ankle and pulled him down.
And that's the end of the first quarter, and we got to take a quick break. So 13-0, Haralson County leads it after 1. We're back in 1 minute.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
The deadline for pre-K and kindergarten priority application is December 15th. Space is limited, so schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org/visit or by emailing admission@darlingtonschool.org.
All right, folks, believe it or not, we're ready to start the second quarter of this football game. First quarter went by pretty quickly here from Chris Hunter Stadium. Right now, Haralson County with a 2-score, 13-0 lead, and the Tigers are getting ready for a big third down here, Ian.
Yeah, they really need this one. Early in this ball game, Haralson has really moved the ball so effectively on offense, you don't want to give it to them on a second consecutive 3-and-out.
3 wide receiver set as Duggan gets ready to take the snap from under center. Looked like one of the defensive guys jumped, but that's going to be an incomplete pass over to Konchesky. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there, perhaps.
Yeah, that ball came out really early, and Konchesky was still going downfield. So I think there was a miscommunication there, and that will be a 3-and-out for the Tigers. And they'll have to punt it back to Haralson County.
So the Tigers had a really good first drive in the game, didn't get points, but ran 10 plays on that first drive, ate up almost half the first quarter, but the last 2 drives, as you've mentioned, been 3-and-outs, been very quick. Here is the punt from Moore. That'll be end over end, drops in, takes a nice Darlington Tigers bounce. They needed that. That gets down to about the 21, still rolling. Oh, what a punt.
Great punt. And he hit the last one good. He got a bad bounce. That time, that was the perfect bounce. Nice, tight spiraling end over end there. And it hit it about the 37-yard line and rolled all the way down to the 21. Now you've got to come out and get this defense. They've got to get their offense to stop here, get them the ball back. You don't want to fall behind by 3 scores.
So Haralson County's going to start at their own 21-yard line. And they run back to line of scrimmage with a 13-0 lead over the Tigers with 11:41 left to go in the second quarter of the ball game. And they'll line up from the gun. There's the snap, going to give it off to Boyd. He runs it off to the right side, shakes off a couple of tackles, stays up. He's got a first down and scoots out of bounds after a pickup of close to 20 yards.
And he hit the PlayStation button. If you're at the right trigger, Matt, then it's this little side shuffle he pulls. The line is just stacked in the jumbo formation there. He gets loose, and then he puts a move there on the outside with a sidestep and goes and picks up a first down and then some, stepping out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
So a 20-yard
pickup there for Boyd there on first down, and they roll to the line of scrimmage, which is at the 41, trying to get it over into Tiger territory. Ray takes the snap. He is going to run the football out to the right side, stays up, gets about 5 yards there on first down.
Just running this jumbo pistol formation. I'm going to try to get a count on how many guys they've got up on the line of scrimmage, but just some big nasties there. The guards pulling. You got the tight end coming across the block as well. And Paxton Ray did a good job there following his blockers and picking up 6 yards on first down.
And so Haralson County will get ready to go back to the line of scrimmage, which now they got the ball at the 46-yard line at the far hash, working from right to left, leading at 13-0. Going to line up in shotgun formation. There's the snap to Ray. He's going to hand it off, go back with the big boy that time, Jax Brown, who carries the pile and gets the first down.
The spot seems short of the sticks. Yeah, they are going to have to fight for this next first down. That is a big boy, man. Now, our friend Jeff Gable told us there's a pizza farm near Haralson County, right? Because they're feeding these kids something, man. They have doubled and tripled in size since last year.
Well, this is 3rd and short here at midfield, right at the 50. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to run it, and he got through and is able to get the first down, and they bring him down.
It's only the 4th first down for Haralson, but that's because they've had some explosive plays that have set up the first 2 touchdowns. You had the really long run from Kemp Boyd, and then you had Paxton Ray's big quarterback draw run on the last drive. This one's been a little bit more methodical, but they've picked up 2 first downs so far on the drive.
And so the ball's at the 48-yard line in Tiger territory with 9:57 left to go in the second quarter of the ball game. They're going to line up in shotgun formation with everybody in tight at the line of scrimmage as Paxton Ray, their quarterback, gets ready to take the snap. Man motions off to the left. That's Boyd. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to run it, follows a good block up front, and is able to get about 7 or 8.
And look, credit the backs for the Rebels. They're doing a good job, but the push up front from this offensive line, I mean, Boyd did a good job to find his lane there, but they're really driving the Tigers defensive front off the ball, and you just have to tip your cap.
Line to gain is going to be the 38-yard line as Haralson County goes back to the line of scrimmage with 2nd and 4. Getting ready to take the snap is going to be Boyd. They're going to run out of the Wildcat again. Tries to follow a block up front, and he gets dropped. And we'll see where the spot is. It looks like
I think that'll be a first down. Yep.
The moving chains.
The near side official has signaled to move the chains. And the clock is running. This time, Haralson being a little bit more methodical in their approach on offense. The Tigers could use a negative play on first down, get them back behind the chains, get them a little uncomfortable. We haven't seen Paxton Ray have to drop back and throw the ball yet.
Force a turnover or something of that nature, something to swing the momentum, get a little spark going. Ray takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. They go back to Brown this time. He gets tripped up, stays up, though, carries the pile, and gets down to a first down. Wow,
yeah,
what
that
a hard
was
run.
Great balance there by Brown as he took that one. It was just a little off-tackle run there, and Brown put his foot in the ground. It looked like he was going down, but he put his hand down to keep himself up and pick up another first down.
So I believe this is the 4th first down here for Haralson County on this drive, and it's easy to see why this team's 3-1 rolling into this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are a much better team than they have been the last couple of years for sure. Shotgun formation. Ray takes the snaps, going to throw a quick toss out to the right side to Joel McCoy, and the defense sniffs it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, Tigers flying to the ball on that play. That's
flag.
Now we've got a flag here, and let's hope that this is going to go the other way because that was a really good effort. Evan Parton out there forcing the back to cut back. Jace Donaldson on that tackle, as well as Ade Desalu. And are they going to call a penalty on?
Meeting of the minds taking place now. We'll get the call here in just a couple of moments.
I think it came after the tackle.
Here we go.
Personal foul, and it's going against Haralson County. That's a momentum swinger right there because that – oh, wait, they're going to offset. Well, it's better than it going against our Tigers. So
thought we had a gift there, and it got taken back immediately.
Yeah, it sure did. So I'm guessing some words might have been exchanged. I didn't see any physical altercation out there on the field, so they must have gotten a little chippy with their mouths, and 2nd and 8 is the result.
All right, so they will line up in shotgun formation, going to move some guys around before they take the snap. And there it is, going to give it to Boyd on a quick toss. He runs it to the near side, starts to cut inside, gets down to about the 10-yard line. I think they got him about the 12. So another first down here for Haralson County.
That's just a little pop pass as Boyd comes in motion. Ray just drops it in his lap and almost tackled in the backfield. I missed the Tigers number that almost made the play and blew it up. But once he missed, Boyd had a lot of room to run.
Got it down to the 12-yard line, and so that'll be a pickup about 15 yards. Now they got it in the red zone. He rolls back to the line of scrimmage. The quarterback with his team, that's Paxton Ray. In the backfield with him is going to be Junior Hudson. And here, Tigers jumped on the line of scrimmage.
And you can see Ray change his cadence there, and it pulled the Tigers offside.
And so Paxton Ray, the quarterback, runs off to the sidelines there to get the play call, some instruction. And he'll get ready to run back onto the field with his team in just a moment. 7:12 left to go in the first half. Haralson County leads this one 13-0 over the Tigers after scoring on their first couple of drives of the game.
And they are knocking on the door and can get a first down around the 7-yard line, it looks like. Oh, no.
And so there's the snap. Ray's going to take it. It bumps into one of his players. The Tigers get there, and they make him pay, bringing him down to the turf for a loss. They needed that big time play.
Yeah, they did, and that was just a miscommunication there by the Rebels offense, and the Tigers were opportunistic there. Ray was going to run it on the draw, but he was hit by his teammate Branson Williams, and then a host of Tigers stormed in. Now, because of the penalty on first down, that sets them back, but it will only be 2nd down and 9. But the Tigers, boy, they sure could use a stop here. If they could find a way to get off the field, even if they only allow 3, I think that's a big-time win.
And so Haralson County going back to the drawing board here on 2nd down.
Let's see a timeout.
And we got a timeout. We're going to take it with them. It's 13-0. Haralson County in the red zone, and we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
All right, we are lakeside tonight at Chris Hunter Stadium. Darlington Tigers taking on the Haralson County Rebels. Tigers trail right now 13-0 here at home. 6:06 left to go in the first half. Tigers trying to come up with a stop here, Ian.
Yeah, and it would be a big-time stop if they could get it. Were able to get their first negative play of the game on that last snap, and Haralson took a timeout to regroup. Gave the Tigers a chance to do the same, and they'll trot out here and see if they can get off the field.
All right, so Haralson County rolls back to the line of scrimmage with 2nd down and 10. There's the snap. He rolls to his right. Quarterback does. Paxton Ray stays up, drives towards the goal line, and he's going to be inside the 5. We'll see where they stop his forward progress.
But it will be 3rd down. I thought he got more yards from up here, but they're marking that around the 8. So it'll be 3rd and 4.
So quarterback run gets down to the 8-yard line, as he had mentioned, 3rd and 4 as they get ready to go back to the line of scrimmage here. Leading at 13-0. Tigers trying to get off the field here on defense. Got a little bit of work to do here with 2 downs left of the series. Ray get ready to take the snap. Man starts to motion off to the left. Now he goes back
over towards the right side of the formation. They're going to give it to the motion man. He is going to cut towards the near side. That is Boyd, and nobody can get him. He drives into the end zone 7 yards out for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Second receiving touchdown is technically that little pot play is a pass, a forward pass, since he hands it off in front of him. And that time it looked like the Tigers had him in the backfield. Boyd just has unbelievable lateral speed and wiggle, and he found a way to get it to the end zone.
So Patino is on here to try to tack on the extra point and make this a 20-0 game. 5:12 remaining here in the first half, and here comes the kick. It's on the way, and that was going to be through, so it is 20-0.
And an impressive drive. We saw the Rebels quick strike offense the first 2 drives. How many plays did we have on that last drive, Matt?
I believe 10. It may be 11. Yeah, it was 11.
11 play drive. Started back at their own 21, so they went 79 yards over 11 plays, capped it off with a 7-yard touchdown from Kemp Boyd, who's having himself a night.
Now, that 11 plays is unofficial because pretty much everything I do is unofficial.
That's all right. We do our best to do it all up here.
So Haralson County ready to kick it back here to the Darlington Tigers. And this is one of those situations, Ian, you got 5 minutes and 12 seconds until you go to the locker room at halftime. The Tigers absolutely need to find a way to get some points here before they go into the locker room and have something positive happen and try to get that momentum back on their side. They need a good drive here.
And don't forget they elected to receive, so Haralson will get the opening kickoff of the second half. So a nice 5-minute and 11-second drive for a touchdown. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be very nice. Emilio Patino ready to kick it back to the Tigers, and he goes and kicks a line drive up the middle. It's going to be brought out, and with the football is going to be Trey Moore. Stays up, gets down to about the 28-yard line before they haul him in.
I think that is where they will start.
So with 5:04 left to go in the first half, the Tigers trail 20-0. But have an opportunity here with plenty of time here to try to get a good drive together. And I just got a vote of confidence from our friend Steve Conrad, who is the voice of the Darlington Tigers on WLAQ for a number of years. He said, I think you were very official.
Okay,
well,
all right. You. Thanks, Steve.
I appreciate you, man. 2 wide receivers to the far side here for the Tigers, working from left to right on your radio dial. Man motions to the right. They're going to throw a quick pass into the flat, and Jace Donaldson is unable to hang on there.
Yeah, and it's, too early to say the snake bitten, but, Jace has dropped 2. That is uncharacteristic because he had it out in space there. If he reels that one in, he may have been dancing in the end zone.
And I think that might have been what happened there. It looked like he was starting to turn. He saw the green grass, was getting excited, ready to run, but was unable to handle the football there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
That brings up 2nd and 10 for the Tigers, so they'll get lined up at the 29-yard line, take another crack at it. 3 wide receivers. Duggan takes the snap. He rolls out looking to pass, favoring that left side. He's got company in the backfield, and he is going to take a sack. And a big loss there for the Darlington Tigers.
And for a right-handed quarterback to get outside when that pressure comes quickly like that, Matt, that's really hard because Duggan's going to have to get outside and turn his body to where he can make a strong pass, and the pursuit was just too much. He fumbled the ball and was lucky to fall back on it there at the end. Right now, this Haralson County defensive front is just causing a lot of problems.
So the Tigers will go back to the line of scrimmage here with 3rd down and 18 to go here. And they're going to send 2 wide receivers to the near side. Duggan is going to be under center, so backs up against the wall here. He drops back looking to throw. He's going to hand it off, go back the other way with the reverse. Miles Twyman stays up and breaks a couple of tackles and got real close to the first down. He was down at about the 39-yard line.
Well,
let's see where they spot this, Ian. That was close.
Yep. They're saying first down.
Wow, what a play as Miles Twyman makes his return to the lineup for the first time in a few games.
We've seen Miles Twyman take that delay handoff to the house, a huge one against Pepperell last year. So that's a special play and a special playmaker in number 12.
Indeed. Got it down to the 39-yard line. There's a quick pitch. Gets it to Bo Powers. Stutter steps. Cuts inside. And he's able to get some extra yards out of the play. Got about 5 on that one, I believe.
Sometimes it just takes a spark. And great play call there by the coaching staff on the delay. And Twyman picks up the first down and then followed up with pitch to Powers for a good, tough 5-6 yard run there. And the offense has got some positive momentum.
3 minutes and 8 seconds left here in the half. Tigers trail 20-0. Trying to get it over into Rebel territory here. Going to have 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. Duggan is under center. He's ready to take the snaps. Got the ball, drops back, puts the ball in the air, and that was going to bounce up towards the receiver, Trey Moore, incomplete.
In the passing game, they just haven't really been able to find any rhythm tonight. And that time, Duggan dropped back. He's been under a ton of pressure. But that one was just a little short-armed, and really the coverage was tight as well on Moore, so I don't know if he puts it on money if that ball's broken up anyway.
So after the incomplete pass, that brings up 3rd down and 4 here for the Tigers with 2:54 left to go in the half. And they're going to send a wide receiver off to the far side, tucked in fairly tight. That's going to be Moore. Under center is Levi Duggan, otherwise out of that base formation. There's the snap. He's going to throw a quick pitch over to Bo Powers. Stays up, drives across the 50. The chains are moving.
Yeah, chains are moving. Great run there by Bo Powers. Powers playing a little banged up out there, but he's playing through the pain from what we've been told. And, you know, we know the Tigers are tough, but he is certainly exemplifying that. We got a penalty?
Chop block.
Oh, man. That's devastating. That is.
We haven't
really
seen that this year, have we?
Not as frequently as we did last year. I think we might have had one again in the game against Mount Vernon. But man, that one hurts. That's a backbreaker right there.
I mean, you had a lot of momentum going there on the drive, and it looked like you're getting a first down across midfield, and then get the penalty. Hopefully that is not a drive killer here late in the half, because, again, the Tigers really need to get some points here. That was tough. Wide receivers, 1 on each side as they try to regroup. Here's the snap. Duggan going to throw it up the middle of the field. It is tipped, nearly intercepted by one of the Haralson County players, so dodged a bullet there.
And I couldn't tell. I'll see if I can catch it on the replay, but I thought he was trying to go to Brooke Temple, and Donaldson was coming underneath. It was one of those situations. We'll see if I can tell. Yeah, I really think that ball might have been intended for Brooke Temple, and Donaldson was right there running. They were running opposite crossing routes there and trying to make an effort play. It's been that kind of night so far for Darlington, unfortunately. The effort's been there. It's just been tough executing the plays and getting positive yardage on offense.
Man back here for Haralson County is going to be Joel McCoy. He stands at the 40. Here comes the kick here from Moore. That'll be end over end and is going to go out of bounds at about the 43, maybe 44.
Well, Haralson County, I believe, has two timeouts left by my count and plenty of time to try to score one more time before the half. And once we get to the half, Matt, we'll give you some score updates from our teams around the area. And there's a lot of action going on tonight and some scores that might surprise you.
Really?
Looking forward to seeing your reaction to a few of them. I think there's some that are going as we expected, but
well, man, that's
good battles.
You got me curious now. I can't wait to hear what's going on. All right, Haralson County lines up out of the gun. They're going to give it to Paxton Ray, the quarterback, to run it. He cuts up the middle of the field, and he's got green grass in front of him. Donaldson trying to catch him, gets a block, and he scoots into the end zone, and that's going to be a 53-yard play by the quarterback to get in the end zone and score the next touchdown of the game here for Haralson County. Didn't see that coming. Wow.
No, and that, I mean, he took it outside, looked like he was going to pitch the option, and then cut back inside. And he had somebody accompany him downfield. It was Colton Hudson that kind of shielded Donaldson on the last breakaway run from Paxton Ray. Donaldson tracked him down that time. The blocking prevented him from doing so.
So a quick strike there on the run there from Paxton Ray, the quarterback, and Haralson County scores again, 26-0. Extra point is going to be no good. Wide right. And now the score is going to stay 26-0.
Well, the Tigers' resolve will be tested here at home tonight. Once again, they were in a tough situation last week, giving up 42 points to Whitfield on the road, and we saw them come out in the second half and really show a lot of gumption, I thought, in that ball game. And there'll be some discussion at halftime on how they can adjust and try to fight their way back in this game. But if there's one thing we know about a Coach Groves coached team, they won't quit.
No, there's no doubt about that. There is a lot of football left to play here in this football game. You got 2:20 left to go here, left in the half. And let's see if the Tigers can put something together in the final couple of minutes and some change and find a way to get some points and try to start chipping away at this ball game. I do believe that they can mount the comeback in this game, but it really has to start now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Back-breaking penalty on the last possession.
Patino with the kick, and that one's going to drop in, picked up, brought out by Moore. He stays up, gets a block, and is across to about the 33-yard line, and so decent field position here for the Tigers.
And Moore getting a lot of work back there as they're trying to keep it away from Temple and Donaldson, and Moore has gotten some opportunities, and nice return there. Tigers have 2 timeouts left by my count as well. So they can execute their offense normally here. They don't have to get in a rush and try to throw it down the field too much.
Going to have 2 wide receivers to the far side, one on the near as Duggan gets ready to take the snap here from under center. He's got it. Going to throw a quick pass out to the outside, and I think that bounced up to Donaldson, and that is going to be incomplete.
And that was the call on first down on the last drive, and Donaldson wasn't able to handle it that time. Duggan, I might have been a backwards pass, but okay. I mean, I don't know how they're talking about it. On the replay, it was behind the line of scrimmage, so that might be spotted back behind the line. There is no review in high school football. We have the luxury of a lovely monitor here that Northwest Georgia Media provides for us.
In other words, we're spoiled rotten up here.
We are spoiled rotten. And let's see here. It's all going to depend on where they spot the ball. But on the replay, if you look where Duggan's standing and where the ball travels, it's behind the line of scrimmage. So the 31-yard line would be where I would spotting it if you were calling into the studio and asking me to do the review. But they just ruled it an incomplete pass. So here we go.
2 wide receivers, one on each side here on first down. And here's the snap. Going to run it, and he's going to be brought down pretty quickly there.
And I guess the play didn't count at all of his first down. That was a very strange sequence. I didn't really see a clear signal from the officials, but they go to the dive play, gets 2 yards, and the clock is running. Yeah, I'm hearing the other announcers say the same thing here. It really should be
third down on this play. Yeah, they'll get that corrected, I would assume. All right, going to have 2 wide receivers to the far side. This should be third down here. Oh, it is second down. Okay, well, quarterback rolls out to the left side, puts it in the air, and that was almost intercepted.
I tell you what, man, they have been that route has been so successful for Darlington the last few weeks. Haralson has done an excellent job sitting down on those receivers. They are not giving them a big cushion, and that ball hung in the air for a little while, and the Haralson defender broke on it and made a heck of a play. And that was number 2, Joel McCoy, making the play.
And so the Tigers have got a 3rd and 8 coming up here with 1:18 left to go in the first half, trailing 26-0. Here are the region opener of the season. This is game 5. Hard to believe that when we get done with tonight's action that we'll be smack dab in the middle of the season. All right, Coach Groves has wanted a timeout here, so we're going to take one as well. 1:18 left to go in the half. We're back in 30 seconds.
The deadline for 2026 to 2027 priority application and financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org/visit or by emailing admission@darlingtonschool.org.
All right, we welcome you back here live from Chris Hunter Stadium. And been a tough first half here for the Tigers, trailing at home 26-0. But again, 1:18 left to go here in the second quarter of the ball game. A team with absolutely no quit. All they need is to string together a few plays here, get a little spark going, and you feel like they can make it into a different game. But so far, hadn't been able to accomplish that just yet. But don't give up on your Tigers, folks. I know you won't.
They're capable of hitting the big pass. They did it last week, so we'll see if they take a shot.
Here's Duggan. It looks like he's trying to do just that. Ball is in the air, and that is going to be intercepted. And coming down with that ball is going to be Joel McCoy, kind of a wobbly pass as it was heading towards Jace Donaldson, and that is going to be intercepted, a turnover for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that time Duggan tried to step up in the pocket, and the pressure came, and he kind of threw it while he was doing a jump step, and Donaldson was open if he puts that on a line, but it was overthrown, and another great play. This, again, I was just giving the Rebels secondary some praise, but Joel McCoy makes another big play. He had a pass breakup on the previous play, and then he's able to make a play on the overthrow there to get the turnover. And now Haralson, they still have a timeout left, and I don't think these guys are going to lay off the gas.
Especially not with the ball at midfield, almost 49-yard lines where they start. There's Ray. He's going to take the snap, runs it off to the right side, and he's able to carry the pile about 6-7 yards there. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 3. Time is a factor just about at the 1 minute and 1 second mark.
And Haralson's going to go ahead and spend the last timeout of the half.
All right, we're going to keep it right here since we're almost at halftime. And when we do get to halftime, it'll be our halftime show where we give you scores. And
I was tempted to give some, but I'm
going
to save
them.
No, you're going to have to stick around for the halftime show if you want the scores, ladies and gents.
Absolutely. We do want to let you know that we've got more sports coming up for you this weekend on WLAQ. I forgot to check with our station manager if we're going to have the Tech game this weekend. It kind of butts up against the Braves broadcast, so it gets a little bit tricky there. But I can tell you we're going to have Braves at Tigers on Saturday. Tomorrow, 11:55 pregame, 1:10 p.m. first pitch, and then on Sunday again. And, the Braves, their last game is September the 28th, and with no hope for the playoffs, hard to believe that's going to be wrapping up. You're used to the Braves playing in, pretty deep into October.
I know. I don't know what my mother and father will do without their Braves baseball, man. They've been loving it and sticking with them. Even they're real fans. I am not. I gave up a long time ago.
I have to admit, once football season turns, if they're not in contention, I start to drift a little bit. I haven't been paying that close of attention.
Guilty as charged.
Probably shouldn't admit that since we carry the team on radio.
I
love the radio broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, Haralson County is at the line of scrimmage in the gun. Ray ready to take the snap. He's going to hand it off, and they run it towards the middle of the field and stays up. Yeah, and I believe he got the first down, but
he did. The Tigers kept him up, which ran a few extra seconds off the clock. So that ball will be spotted, the chains will be moved, and then the officials will start to wind the clock again. So Haralson's going to move with some urgency here.
So the Rebels at the line of scrimmage with 45 seconds left to go. Here's the snap. Ray is going to turn and run it up towards the right side of the field. And he's able to get about 5 yards. Clock's still rolling, though, Ian.
It is.
They take another timeout.
Haralson had 2. I thought so. The scoreboard and I were not in the agreement there, so Haralson able to stop the clock one more time. But I tell you one thing, Matt, they don't pass the football, because this would have been the scenario where you try to pass and manage the clock by putting the ball in the air. But other than the pop passes that we've seen, it's been all on the ground for this Haralson attack.
Well, live coverage of Darlington football for you on WLAQ and also the live stream. And going to be a big weekend of college football. Looking forward to some of the matchups that are coming up. I know you dog fans out there are going to take a breather this weekend after the crazy win over Tennessee last week. Get ready for Alabama to roll into town coming up next weekend.
What a ball game. You talked about feeling sorry for kickers. That poor guy. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes this week up in Knoxville. Fans are not fair to these young men. And, it was a tough loss for the Vols, a great win for the Dogs, a great football game. Very, very entertaining. How about those Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, too?
Oh, man. What a fantastic win. And I hate to admit that I didn't get to watch much of it last weekend, but I did get to listen to it on the radio on WLAQ. Going to have 3 wide receivers here as Ray gets ready to take the snap. He drops back, looking to throw on this play.
Yeah, we almost saw a pass, but it's
and
a
you got a false start.
Only the second penalty on Haralson County. They've played a pretty clean game. Darlington only has 2 penalties as well, but the one was just a backbreaker with the chop block that negated a first down, gave Haralson the ball back, and it went from 20-0 to 26-0 in a heartbeat.
So the ball will be at the 41-yard line when Haralson County goes back to the line of scrimmage. Still have some time here, 34.3 seconds left on the clock. Ray's going to line them up in a shotgun with everybody in tight at the line of scrimmage except for the quarterback. They're going to motion a man to the right, hands it off, cuts back towards the near side, and the defense was ready and drives Kent Boyd to the ground. Not much gain there.
Yeah, and Haralson not in a hurry to get on the ball, so I think that might do it. They get the ball to start the second half, which I'm kind of surprised by that. I mean, you got a chance to stack another 6 or 7 points on before half. I'd take some shots there, but Haralson's content to go to the locker room, leading 26-0.
So that's going to be the end of your first half. As Ian pointed out, your score at halftime, Haralson County 26, Darlington Tigers 0. So some work to do when they come out of the locker room. Definitely going to make some adjustments here. I'd imagine it'll be a pretty spirited talk here at halftime as they try to figure things out here for the second half, Ian.
Yep, absolutely. They're going to have to go in there and see what they can do. The defense will need a big stop to start the second half, see if they can get the offensive ball back and climb back in this game.
All right, let's send it back to the studio for a 3-minute timeout. We'll come back with a halftime show on Darlington Tigers football after these messages.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
The deadline for 2026 to 2027 priority application and financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org/visit or by emailing admission@darlingtonschool.org.
Mark your calendar for Alumni Weekend on October 24th through October 26th. For information on hotel blocks and reunions for classes ending in 0 and 5, visit our website at www.darlingtonschool.org/alumni weekend. We hope to see you there.
Welcome you back live here to Chris Hunter Stadium. Matt Davis and Ian Griffin bringing you the halftime show here, and we're getting a halftime show from the Haralson County Marching Band, and they got a good one. They got an elaborate setup here. If you're watching a live stream, you see it, but they've got risers and wonderful outfits and everything like that. There's a lot going on out there.
Yeah, and there's a tie to Rome here. Former Rome band director Chad Hanna is now the director of bands at Haralson County, so he's familiar with the area, and he had an award-winning band at Rome. Looks like he's doing the same thing at Haralson County.
Well, this is impressive. There's no question about that. And, it's not a Friday night unless you got the marching bands at halftime, man. It makes it special, doesn't it?
Wonderful stuff. Absolutely.
All right, well, here it is 26-0 in favor of Haralson County. Kind of tough sledding there in the first half, but plenty of time for the Darlington Tigers to regroup there and recover in this ball game. Not totally out of reach just yet, but definitely not the way you wanted the first half to go for sure.
No, absolutely not. Darlington opened up with a really nice drive. 10 plays, took almost 6 minutes off the clock, but they had a turnover on downs, and then we got to see just what a force this Haralson County Rebels offense is, led by Kemp Boyd. He had 3 touchdowns in the half, and then quarterback Paxton Ray also had a touchdown. They missed 2 extra points. That's why the score is 26-0. But Coach Groves and his staff are in there making the adjustments, see if they can get some things going on offense, but they're also going to have to come back in this game. You've really got to pitch a shutout on defense or close to it in the second half.
And it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen a dramatic comeback and victory for the Darlington Tigers. So really interested to see what we see in the second half here from the Tigers in this ball game. Well, one of the things that we're going to do here in a couple of minutes, I know you're just chomping at the bit to tell me what's going on in these scores. If you want to go ahead and cover that, we certainly can.
Well, the first one I'm going to start with, I'm not sure, because Score Stream is fan driven, so fans report the scores. When I looked earlier, Cass was leading, but now it's got Cedartown up 23-3. We're going to have to fact check that one, so anybody out there listening that wants to shoot us a text.
I am looking at Score Atlanta. That's usually pretty accurate. And
16-3 Cass. Yeah, so we're going to go with that one. Cass leads. That's what I saw early, so I feel like a fan decided to play a little practical joke there. So Cass leading Cedartown 16-3. And these next 2 games will be no surprise. The Rome Wolves have found their mojo. They have been so dominant in region play the last few years, and they are continuing that trend. They're up 45-0 over Alexander at the half. And then another powerhouse in the state, the Cartersville Hurricanes. They're up 44-0 over Woodland in the second quarter. Battle of the Indians out in Armurchie, Chattooga visiting Armurchie. It was 7-7 for most of the first half, but it seems like the Chattooga Indians have pulled away a little bit. It's 21-7 in the second quarter. Here's the one. I'm not surprised by this score. We talked about this on our This Week in Northwest Georgia football broadcast. But right now, the Pepperell Dragons at halftime leading the Temple Tigers 20-14. We knew the Dragons had it in them. 2 more quarters to play. Would love to see Coach Haywood get that W against Temple because Pepperell's had some tough losses, hard-fought losses this season. It'd be nice to see them come out with a road win like that. Be a big bounce back for them. Gordon Central and CUSA. We both took the Eagles for a bounce-back win. Gordon Central is 4-0, ladies and gentlemen. I can't remember. I don't think I've ever said those words.
They were 4-0 in the 2012 season. They won 6 games straight before they lost one that year, but that was the last time that they were able to accomplish that.
I think that must have been a year I took off because I have no memory of them being 4-0. But it's been 13 years, and they're fighting hard. But CUSA does have a 1-point lead at the half, up 13-12. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. Sonoraville absolutely dominating Murray County at 49-6 at the half. Rockmart doing what Rockmart does, dominating, win football games and continue to build their region win streak, which is over 60 games now.
Yeah, it is. I can't remember if it was 60 last week or the week before, but it's definitely over 60 if they win today for sure.
Well, they're up 28-0 over Coahuila Creek. I don't have a score on Fannin County, Dade County. And then last night, Bremen defeated Model 42-7. So that's all the scores I've got for you right now. We'll keep a close eye on them going forward. And then after the broadcast tonight, stick around on WLAQ because Lynn and Austin Butler will be in the studio live taking your phone calls. So if you're at any of these games we're talking about, give them the number, Matt.
It's 706-232-7767. Again, 706-232-7767. You can call in live and talk to those guys, and it's a lot of fun. So make sure that you tune it in, as Ian pointed out, at the end of the night. But not before we have the honor for the 5th week of the season to award the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game. And, normally at halftime we talk a little bit about who may be in the running for that award, and we're going to do that when we come back. But we need to take another break. It's halftime. We're at Chris Hunter Stadium, Lakeside tonight. Tigers trailing 26-0 to Haralson County in the region opener of the season. At the end of the night, we'll be at the midpoint of the season. Let's step out for 3 minutes. We're back with more at halftime after these messages.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
Financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org/visit or by emailing admission at darlingtonschool.org.
Mark your calendar for Alumni Weekend on October 24th through October 26th. For information on hotel blocks and reunions for classes ending in 0 and 5, visit our website at www.darlingtonschool.org/alumni weekend. darlingtonschool.org/alumni weekend. We hope to see you there.
Back, and we just enjoyed the halftime performance there from the Haralson County Rebels Marching Band, and we got some Master of Puppets from Metallica there towards the end of the performance, and that was pretty epic, man. That was good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, these two old guys right here, they like it when you play something from their heyday.
I love it, man. Yeah. That's good stuff. Well, we got a score update from our buddy Greg, who chimed in with a text a few moments ago, an update on that Cass Cedartown game. Cass was up 37-3.
And that sounds more like it. And again, when we're pulling from ScoreStream, it is fan driven. So those are, somebody can go in and change the score, and it can be inaccurate. So Cass is just an excellent team. I haven't got to see them play this season, but I've gotten to know Coach Gates over the years, and he's had some phenomenal athletes. And this year, his quarterback, who he lost to an ACL injury last year, Brody McWhorter, is back and firing on all cylinders. While Tommy Eighth is in year one at Cedartown, Darlington fans very familiar with that name. He's got a young team, and he's building things up from the ground up, and he'll get the job done.
Oh, there's no question about that. But as you mentioned, you got Brody McWhorter, who's going to Mississippi State. He's a D1 SEC quarterback, and he's definitely playing that part this season. No question about that.
He lives up to the hype when you watch his tape.
Man, unbelievable. Well, let's see. When we get to the end of the game tonight, we mentioned to you, as we do every week, we're going to have the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game. So, obviously, a lot of football left to play, but who's in the running tonight, Ian?
Well, I have to start with the most impressive play I saw in the first half, and this play by this particular player embodies everything the Darlington Tigers are all about, and that's Bo Powers. He's had some good runs. Unfortunately, he had a first down run that was negated by a chop block. But the play that has him in the front running for me is the fumble that he went in and tenaciously stole back from Haralson County on that opening drive. It was a heck of a play. So right now, Bo Powers is at the top of the list, but there's a whole half of football left to play. We'll see which Tiger emerges with the prize.
Well, we've mentioned to you several times throughout our broadcast tonight that we're going to be at the midway point of the season once the conclusion of tonight's game. This is the first region game of the year for the Tigers after going 2-2 in non-region play with several trips down to the Atlanta area. And, of course, going to be on the road coming up next week. But the good news is you only got 4 miles to go for the game to take on the Pepperell Dragons. So we're going to be in Lindale coming up, making that 4-mile trek, which obviously one of the things that we talked about with Coach Groves on his show earlier this week is when you look at this region, it was tough last year. It's even tougher this year because you've got a lot of players that have come back and a lot of, experienced teams. And I think that every team in the region is improved and on an upward trajectory. So you're talking about, going from a Haralson County team that is much better than last year. You're going to face Pepperell. I think they've improved. Heard County won the region last year. You got Model. They've kind of struggled at times, but they've got some good playmakers on their team. Temple, Bremen. I mean, that is unbelievable from top to bottom, the competition level in this region.
Yeah, you're going to have to play your A game each and every Friday night. We didn't know. I saw the record for Haralson County, but I did not expect the kind of growth that we've seen from last year's team to this year's team. There were some players that looked like they had promise, but like I said, I think they've been eating at the pizza farm and in the weight room hardcore. I don't think they've left because they have evolved physically into a really, really large, fast, tenacious team. I'm super impressed with what we saw from them in the first half.
Oh, there's no question. They're an excellent football team. Well, while we got a couple of moments here, we want to recognize the crew once more here. We'll start with the video crew. Press box cameras tonight. You got Bennett Abernathy. I think they just put Gordon Powers up on the screen there for a second. He's standing right in front of the remote camera right there, and I think he's hamming it up over there is what's happening, which does not surprise me one bit. That he would be doing that. But anyway, press box cameras today. Bennett Abernathy and Afton Taylor. You've got graphics. Caleb Bicey sitting up here with us tonight. Remote cameras, Kate Travis. You got replay from Nathan Patterson. Sorry, I got a little... Anyway, director is Mike Garrett. I'm Matt Davis. He's Ian Griffin. Lint Butler's back at the studio. We're going to take another break. We'll step out for 3 minutes. We'll have more of the halftime show when we come back. Tigers trail 26-0, and we'll return in 3 minutes.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot rolled and cold finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
The deadline for 2026 to 2027 priority application and financial aid is February 15th. Schedule your private campus tour at www.darlingtonschool.org/visit or by emailing admission at darlingtonschool.org.
Mark your calendar for Alumni Weekend on October 24th through October 26th. For information on hotel blocks and reunions for classes ending in 0 and 5, visit our website at www.darlingtonschool.org/alumni weekend. We hope to see you there.
Welcome you back live here Lakeside tonight from Chris Hunter Stadium, and this is the second home game of the season, first region game of the year for the Darlington Tigers, in kind of a tough spot here, down 26-0 at halftime, but plenty of time for the team to mount a comeback here tonight, and certainly that's what we hope we get to see coming up in the second half. But glad you're with us tonight, and I do want to give you some good news here for Atlanta Braves fans. But boy, they've got, Gordon Powers is back on the video screen. Braves are up 10-1 over the Tigers in the top of the ninth. So we're getting that video again here for the folks that are watching on the live stream. And I think there might be a special treat coming up after it, I am told. We'll see if that transpires, if that's available or not. But
they're having fun on Friday night.
They are. That's what it's all about, man. Getting out here. There's no better place to be than hanging out at Chris Hunter Stadium. Got a fantastic crowd on hand. That's been one of the things that's been really great this season is you've always seen a lot of fan participation, but it feels like the crowds have perhaps been bigger and very enthusiastic at the games this year.
Especially the student section, which the student section has always been spirited, but I just feel like it's chock full. I mean, I don't see any space there as the students come out to support their Darlington Tigers. And tonight, it must be solid gold night because everybody's clad in either gold clothing or they've got the body paint on, the bling. Bling's probably not a cool term anymore.
I don't know the vernacular or whatever you want to call it, but we'll give you some college scores. Right now you've got Tulsa up over Oklahoma State, 16-3. The Mullet might be on the out.
He's a man. He's 50 plus, and he's probably not going to be coaching the Oklahoma Cowboys next year.
Well, that's got 2 minutes and 32 seconds left in the second quarter. Meanwhile, you've got Rutgers up over Iowa, 20-14, with 12 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the second quarter of that one. And big games coming up tomorrow. Of course, you know, I'm a Notre Dame Irish fan, and they're 0-2 to start the season after losing two really close games. Yeah. They've got Purdue tomorrow, hoping to get their first win of the season. Feels weird saying that after those first two games, but you've got Georgia Tech hosting Temple. And this is one of those games that I think in some aspects could be a little bit tricky because we've seen Tech in the past pick up a really big win and then get in a situation where they play a team that they should beat, maybe slip up a little bit. I don't think this team is wired that way this year, though.
Yeah. But if you're a Tech fan, you've got PTSD from that exact thing happening. You go out, you get a big win, and then you follow it up by tripping up against a team you shouldn't. I agree with you. I have to say, I know you didn't get a chance to watch the game. I'm sure you got to watch some highlights. Brent Key's execution on that final drive, the way he managed the clock, his staff too, let's give everybody credit. They were ready. They executed it to perfection. They talked about it on the broadcast right before it happened. He's like, we were at practice the other day, and they practiced the fire drill field goal every practice. So they were ready for that moment. There was no panic. And Burr just smashed that thing through the uprights.
55 yards, tied a program, field goal.
But every play that led up to that was exactly how you should play it by the book. He wasn't settling for the field goal, but he had all the scenarios played out on his sheet. Super impressed with Brent Key and what he's doing at Georgia Tech. He's got that program ready to get back into to at least the mid-tier and hopefully break through the upper echelon.
And, when you think about it, Ian, as a Georgia Tech fan, they've been blessed with some clutch kickers in the past. Harrison Butker, of course, is one that you think about as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott Sisson was on that 90 team, hit a couple of game winners that season, so he stands out. Harrison Butker as well. But, and if you look at Tech's schedule, they really should be favored in every game until they play the Georgia Bulldogs at the end of the season. So if they take care of business, this is a playoff team. That's just the –
oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine?
Ooh.
But they've got to take care of business. That starts with Temple tomorrow.
Well, if that ends up being the case, I feel a road trip coming on because I don't know if there's any mountain high enough to keep us from wanting to go to that game.
I know.
That'd be epic. Well, anyway, we're ready to play some football here in the second half as the Tigers have got it teed up, ready to kick it to Haralson County. Tigers won the toss. They elected to receive to kick off to open up the game. Ade Desalou trots to the ball, kicks it. That's going to be end over end, drops in at about the 28-yard line, will be fielded and brought out. And this is going to be really good field position for Haralson County as that young man is able to get it out close to about midfield.
Was that number 3 that carried it? No. 18.
I got screened on it.
Pretty sure it was 18.
If so, that's Caleb Hughes. Good eye, Ian.
Interesting. Good return either way. He just drove the pile all the way out to the 40s, just shy of the 47, yeah.
All right, so Haralson County rolls to the line of scrimmage right at the 47-yard line, as you mentioned. That's going to be shotgun formation. There's the snap, going to give it to Boyd. He'll run it towards the right side, bounces off a tackle, stays up, and he is streaking down the sidelines, tries to get past Konchesky, who is able to haul him out of bounds by his wrist and saves a touchdown there, but they're going to be in the red zone after one play.
And Kemp Boyd has been a handful. Darlington has gone up against some unbelievable running backs this season, and Kemp Boyd's putting his name in the cap. He has had a whale of a night tonight. Just great vision, great speed and quickness and wiggle. He's just been a troublemaker all night.
And so he gets the ball down to the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 here from Haralson County after a big play opens up this drive. They lead at 26-0. Quarterback Ray getting ready to take the snap. He's got the ball. They're going to the big back this time. That's Jax Brown, who carries the pile inside the 10. And, that was just all effort right there from that young man.
And that's a big dude. He's got some speed. You look at him and you're like, he's got tree trunks for legs, but he's shifty. Made a couple of guys miss there, and once he gets rumbling, tough to get to the turf.
So it looked like they got the ball down to about the 6-yard line. So that's going to set up a 1st and goal here for Haralson County as they go back to the line of scrimmage in the gun. And they are threatening to strike quickly here. We've only played 1 minute of the third quarter of the ball game. They go back to Brown again, and this time he stays up, but the Tigers are going to bring him down right at about the 4 or 5 yard line.
Yeah, defense all over that one. Good play by the Tigers.
And it takes about 3 or 4 guys to get him to the turf.
Yeah.
He's a load.
kind of reminds me of late career Michael Turner. You know, if you can stop the wheels from rolling, you can get him down. But once he's at full speed, look out.
Looks like they're going to go to the Wildcat again here to Boyd. He's got the ball and a head full of steam, and he is in the end zone just like that. A 5-yard run for a touchdown. What is that, his
fourth.
Third or fourth? Okay. Yep, fourth. Wow.
And in under 2 minutes, the Rebels marched the ball 53 yards, 53 and a half yards if we want to be a little more technical, and have tacked on another touchdown.
So 32-0 as we get ready for Emilio Patino to try to tack on the extra point. There have been 2 missed extra points in the game so far for Haralson County. And here comes the snap. Hold looks good. Kick is on the way, and that one is going to sneak in, and it is good.
So Patino connects, and the Rebels stretch their lead to 33-0. Here on the road. I did not see this one coming, Matt. I thought we were going to get a nail biter tonight, but Haralson has just executed really well and impressed not only with their skill position players, but not just the size of their linemen, but the speed, especially on defense. Darlington has not really had a lot of success getting out on the edge with their playmakers, and that's a testament to Haralson County having great lateral team defensive speed there.
We're going to have the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show coming up for you tonight. We invite your phone calls at 706-232-7767. And right now we get ready for Haralson County to kick it away to the Darlington Tigers. We'll get ready for their first drive of the second half and see what kind of adjustments they make and see if they can get on the board for the first time of the ball game, trailing 33-0 here at home. Here comes the kick from Patino, and that's going to be a little squib up the middle, and chasing it down is going to be Evan Parton. He'll bring it out, and he gets dropped at about the 25-yard line. Flag comes in at the end of the play, though, Ian.
Yeah, I think that was a late hit or a target, one of the two. I was kind of screened by the partition wall here. But Evans gotten more work in the – yep, there's going to be a target. So that will tack 15 yards on. Horse collar is what they're called. I thought he did the targeting motion as well. Definitely pulled him down from the back. Yeah, horse collar.
And so the official will march off the penalty yards, and that'll certainly help the calls here as the Tigers are going to have really good field position here for their first drive of the second half. They're going to start here at the 46-yard line after the penalty yards.
Well, we take every break that can help the Tigers claw their way back into this game we can get.
Got a pretty steep hill to climb, but plenty of time to try to mount the comeback. Going to have 2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. Duggan takes the snap. He turns, hands it off. Miles Twyman's got it, carries a guy with him down to the 50-yard line before they rope him in.
9 yards from Miles. And that's, what they had some success with the dive play early in the game and then kind of veered away from it. Wouldn't be surprised to see him just try to pound it between the tackles a little bit more here in the second half.
So great job by Miles. Going to be second down and short. 2 wide receivers to the far side for the Tigers. Duggan ready to take the snap. He's got the ball, turns, hands it off. The ball is loose. Can they get it? Yes, they do. Bodie Powers comes up with it, and he is going to be dropped at about the 40-yard line, avoiding a disaster there.
And for the second time tonight, Bo Powers, that time it was a little more right place, right time, because that ball, Duggan, I think, tried to pull it, and it got popped loose. And again, Powers paying attention, eyes on the ball, and helps avoid disaster for the Darlington offense.
And so they're going to lose a few yards there, but as you mentioned, avoiding disaster. That brings up 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. Need a big play here to keep the drive going. Got 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 on the near in the backfield. at that B-back position is Miles Twyman. There's the snap, going to turn, hands it off to Miles. He stays up, drives forward. Not going to be enough for the first down. Are we in 4-down territory here?
Down 33-0. Yes, you are. Yeah, if it's 4th and 6 or less, I think the Tigers will go for it, unless they were way back on their own side of the field. But with this ball near midfield, you absolutely go for it right here.
Caleb Covington in on this package here for the Darlington Tigers. And now the Tigers back at the line of scrimmage here trying to convert on a 4th down. They were able to do it in the first quarter of the ball game. There's the snap. They're going to turn, fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to run, and he scoots through and gets the first down. The Chains are on the move.
Yeah, great play there by Levi Duggan. As the Tigers pick up a huge 4th down there, he pulls the ball, totally faked out the defensive end there, and then he saw the crease he needed to get the first down and made a quick decision. Great play there by Duggan.
Going to send 2 wide receivers here on 1st and 10 from the 44, now in Haralson County territory. There's the snap. Going to hand it off, go with the B-back dive, and the defense is going to crush it at the line of scrimmage.
This defense, they are tenacious and have just been disruptive all night long. And I've really been impressed with the way they stack the box. They aren't giving the receivers a lot of room when Darlington elects to pass either, so the secondary has played lights out as well.
And so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 after a short gain. 2 wide receivers on the far side, quarterback under center, otherwise base formation. There's the snap, going to pitch it, get it to Jace Donaldson, and he is going to be dropped in the backfield by Colton Sinowick.
I think it was Hudson, number 3. Yeah,
number 3.
Yeah, it was number 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that time they tried to pitch it out to Donaldson, and Hudson was all over it. A little chatter afterwards. I'm surprised he didn't get a flag there. He made the tackle. No need to taunt. That was close to taunting.
Indeed. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far, and this is 3rd down and a long way to go here for the Tigers. There's the snap. Quarterback going to hand it off, gets it over to Miles Twyman. Nice shifty run for him, but he's going to be stopped. Got some of the yards they lost back, but that brings up a 4th down and 12.
On this side of the field, I still think the Tigers will go for it, and will likely need to do it by going through the air. And really, the issue here is that when there have been in obvious passing situations, Duggan hasn't had much time. I mean, this defense is getting penetration from the front 4, and then they've dialed up some blitz packages as well that have really forced Duggan to move and be uncomfortable back there and have to throw from some difficult positions.
All right. 4th and 11. Here's the snap. Dropping back is Duggan. Got a little time this time. Ball in the air, and that's going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, absolutely. And Donaldson looked like he might have been loose there, but the pressure was coming late. They came with a delayed blitz that time. Linebacker kind of sat back and then put the pressure on and shot through the gap. And Duggan let that one go and missed Donaldson across the middle.
And so Haralson County is going to take over at their own 45-yard line, leading at 33-0 here with 5:47 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And they go to the huddle. I would imagine we'll see them be pretty deliberate with every snap with that big a lead.
Yeah, I mean, this team has only passed the ball. They dropped back to pass, and I think the play didn't even count because they had a false start.
Paxton Ray takes the snap. He turns, hands it off. They're going to give the ball this time to Joel McCoy, who carries the pile down across midfield down to about the 45-yard line on the other side of the field. So a 1st down there.
Yeah, I think they've run the ball over 90% of the plays they've run, and when you're trying to protect a lead, that's a good recipe for controlling the clock and keeping the other offense off the field.
11-yard pickup there for McCoy as Haralson County goes back to the huddle after the play call comes in with their quarterback Paxton Ray, the senior, and he rolls his team back to the line of scrimmage out of their base formation. Everybody in tight, and you got Running back is the sidecar, Joel McCoy. There's the snap. Going back to McCoy. He runs it off to the right side, gets a good block up front, and gashes him for 8 yards there.
Kemp Boyd has been the feature back most of the night, but Joel McCoy on this drive, the sophomore, has gotten these first few carries, and he's pretty impressive as well. He's made some great plays on the defensive side of the ball. Now he's getting the opportunity on offense, but he is trotting off the field. And I believe it's number 8, Branson Williams, that's coming in to spell him.
And so now they've got the ball at the 36-yard line, bringing up 2nd and 3. Haralson County does, working from right to left. Shotgun formation as Ray gets ready to take the snap. There it is. He turns, hands it off to his running back. He stays up and maybe gets a yard or two.
Yeah.
Stop short.
Yeah, pretty good defense there. Good pursuit from the backside by the Tigers.
Who was the ball carrier on that play?
I think it was number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah, that's Branson Williams. He had come in for McCoy. So Kemp Boyd's night may be over. And if so, he definitely padded the stat book while he was out there. 4 touchdowns. Pretty good night by any standards.
3rd down and 2 coming up. Ball at the 35-yard line. Underneath center is going to be Paxton Ray, the quarterback. He dives forward with the quarterback dive. And I believe he got the couple of yards they needed for the first down.
He did. That'll move the chains. Paxton Ray, again, he hasn't had to throw the ball, but he's executed very well. His decision-making has been excellent, and he's made some really great plays with his feet tonight. Definitely just in command of the offense.
3:30 left to go here in the 3rd quarter of the football game. Haralson leading 33-0 as they go back to the line of scrimmage here as time's starting to get close to the end here of the 3rd quarter. Ray lines him up in the gun, getting ready to take the snap with Williams in the backfield. Going to hand it off. They run up to the right side, and Williams with another carry there.
Oh, that was Big Jack's Brown.
Okay, Brown.
Yeah, it's hard to see some of these numbers.
Is able to get the ball down to the 27-yard line on that play, so a pickup of 4 yards. Sets up a 2nd down and 5 with just under 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Haralson County goes back to the line of scrimmage here. And Ray gets ready to take the snap here on 2nd down. Ray waiting on the ball. Boyd's back into the game, by the way. Ray's going to run the football, runs it off to the right side, stays up. I believe he got another first down.
Now we've got a flag flying in late here as well. It's going to either be a late hit or a hold, but let's see what the call is.
Hold. Face mask.
Face mask.
Against the Tigers.
Yep. It's been one of those nights.
Yes, it really has
been one of those nights where, they've had the turnovers haven't really been the issue. It's just if it can go wrong, it seems to have gone wrong, and those are tough nights.
Colton Moman trots back out on the field here for the Tigers.
So knocking on the door once again are the Haralson County Rebels.
Yep. Rebels have got the ball right at the 8-yard line. So that brings up 1st and goal. And Ray getting ready to take the snap with everybody in tight except for Boyd, who is split to his left right next to him. Ray ready to take the snap here. He's got the ball. He's going to hand it off, gives it to Boyd, and Boyd walks right. Well, he kind of stutter steps towards the end zone carrying the pile, and I hadn't seen the signal yet, but I think he's in.
No, they ruled him down. There was a Haralson County player that threw 2 hands up, but the official, did they?
I think they finally did.
Okay, the
Somebody
second hand
did.
went up?
Well, maybe not. Okay, he's going to be a little bit short. I thought somebody's hands went up.
Well, I thought Boyd might be finished for the night, but he got behind his lead blocker there, pulling guard, and it was, I mean, you go to the replay, I think he fell over, but maybe he stepped on the boundary. That's what it looks like the official mark.
Direct snap to Boyd. He's going to drive through, and that'll be a 1-yard run for a touchdown, and another one for Boyd.
Yeah.
5 touchdowns.
Impressive night, and Boyd didn't come out on that possession until they had the ball inside the 10-yard line following a face mask penalty on Darlington. And then number 1 for the Rebels trotted back on the field, and 2 carries later, he was in for his 5th touchdown of the night.
And Emilio Patino on for the extra point. And he'll try to tack on another one and make it a 40-0 game with 1:36 left to go in the third quarter of the football game. Here comes the kick, the hold from Ray, and that was going to be right down Broadway. So the score moves to 40-0 with 1:36 left to go here in the third quarter. I'll be honest, I never would have seen that coming. I definitely felt like this Haralson County team was much improved, but I got to tell you, after watching them play tonight, they may be a contender in this region this year.
If they can run the ball and not turn it over, they're going to have a chance to win every game. Yeah. I mean, they were never in a position tonight where they had to pass, so that'll remain a question mark for me going forward. What are they going to do if they're forced to throw the football? But if they can go out and get the push that they're getting, because look, I think Darlington has an excellent team, and they've been pushed around up front tonight by this on both sides. Haralson's won the battle at the line of scrimmage, and if they can do that and play turnover-free football, you're right, they're going to have a chance against everybody in the region.
And Emilio Patino ready to kick it back here to the Darlington Tigers as they try to get something positive going here late in the third quarter of the football game. Here comes the kick, and that's going to be a squib up the middle. It looks like Parton's going to field this one again for the second kickoff in a row. He stays up and gets across to the 33. Great effort there by Parton running the ball.
Yeah, Parton, I love it. These last few weeks, he's not one of those linemen that gets it kicked at him and just goes down. He's going to put that ball, tuck it high and tight, and try to take it to the house. Gotta love it.
Just put that foot in the ground and try to go with it.
Yeah.
All right. So the Tigers are going to start at their own 33-yard line with 1:29 left to go in this third quarter of the football game. Levi under center, getting ready to take the snap with everybody in tight. He'll take the ball, turns, is going to get it to Jace Donaldson, who tries to get out to the edge, and they're able to string it out a little bit, and he gets a short gain.
Other than, I think Jace had 2 opportunities where he had a crease tonight. For the most part, we've seen Haralson really, really get out there and defend well and not give him the opportunity to get a crack. We know he can take it to the house if you just give him a sliver of space. But it has not been available tonight.
Trey Moore is back on for this package as Caleb Covington comes off the field. Going to be 2 wide to the near side, 1 on the far side. Line up in the slot as Jace Donaldson here on this near side for the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers as time starts winding down here for the third quarter. Looks like we're going to have a timeout before the next play. So we're going to take this one as well. Haralson County 40, Darlington 0. We're back in 30 seconds.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
We're lakeside tonight, back here at Chris Hunter Stadium. Matt Davis and Ian Griffin bringing you the call of Darlington Tigers football Been a tough night. I mean, there's no way to put it any other way. Tigers down 40-0 with 40.6 seconds left to go here in the third quarter, and just trying to make something positive happen here as we get close to the fourth quarter.
It all starts here, 2nd and 8 at their own 35.
2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side. Levi under center, ready to take the snap. He's got the ball, puts it in the air, and he's able to connect with his receiver and gets it within a couple of yards there of the first down. Making the grab there for the Tigers was Trey Moore.
Duggan zipped that one in. Moore did a good job because the defender, as they have been most of the night, was right there, tight coverage. But Moore goes low, makes the catch, and puts him in third and manageable. Throwing out the little purple footballs, Matt. I still have that childlike need to catch one. Throw one up to the press box.
Somebody
girls.
get him one.
Yeah.
Wide receiver on the near side. There's the snap. Levi turns, hands it off, tries to go up the middle, and not much there up the middle against this big defensive line.
Yeah, that'll set up another 4th down for the Tigers.
And that's the end of the third quarter. So it comes down to the fourth quarter, folks, and we're going to go ahead and step out. 40-0, Tigers trail. We're back in 1.
And that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
We get ready for the final quarter of the football game. Tigers are at the ball, working from right to left now. And this is going to bring up 4th down and 2 as they try to extend the drive here, trailing 40-0 as we start the final quarter of the football game. Levi ready to take the snap. He turns, is going to run the football, gets the first down as he is across the 45, and they're able to convert here and keep the drive going. Good
Nice job. That's the second consecutive possession where Levi Duggan has been able to convert, keeping the rock on 4th down, and that keeps the ball in the Tigers' possession.
And so the Tigers at the ball now at the 47-yard line on their side of the field. Going to have a couple of wide receivers to the near side. In the slot is Nate Konchesky, Duggan under center. Otherwise base formation. There's the snap. He's going to turn. There's the pitch. Got it to Matias Selle. Ball's loose on the turf, and Matias is able to cover there, but it's going to be a pretty big loss. Avoided a disaster, though.
Yep. That time it just popped off Selle's hands. It was a clean pitch, but hit him in the face mask, and he juggled it and was fortunate to get back on top of it, but big loss that'll put the Tigers back behind the chains.
So that's going to bring up 2nd down and about 17 to go after the 7-yard loss there on the play. And the ball drops back to the 40-yard line as the Tigers go back to the drawing board. It's just been one of those games, man, where just everything has been tough for them. Quarterback under center, Levi ready to take the snap. He's got the ball. He's dropping back, looking to pass, throws it up the middle, and that's going to be incomplete to Jace Donaldson, a low pass.
Yeah, and that time again, Duggan has had very little time. Little play action there, but tried to fit one in there and threw it back behind Donaldson. And there was no way Jace was going to make that play.
David Lane, the general manager of the Rome Emperors, is sitting out the box right next to us. Just got away from him. Always enjoy going over there to Advent Health Stadium and watching the games. It's a lot of fun. There's the snap. Dropping back is Duggan. Going to throw a pass, and it's going to be incomplete over to Jace Donaldson here on the near side, and that brings up 4th down.
Duggan hit as he threw that time. It's just getting hit. Donaldson had to dive to try to pull that one in, and the Tigers, with it being 4th and 17 on their side of the field, will punt. And it looks like we have gone to a running clock because that was an incomplete pass, and the clock is ticking.
All right, so Trey Moore to punt it away here for the Tigers. He awaits the snap, a little bit high, pulls it down, gets the kickoff. Good job by Moore. And that one is going to drop in and roll out of bounds at about the 36-yard line.
Trey Moore has had a good night punting the football. He's also had a few receptions on offense as well and a few good kick returns. So number 17's had himself a pretty good night.
Well, it has not been the Tigers' night, but if there's one thing that we know about Coach Groves and this program, and of course these kids, is they'll regroup and pull things together as they get ready for the game coming up next week down in Lindale against the Pepperell Dragons. Sometimes you just have a tough game, and they've gone up against a team that is one at the line of scrimmage, as you pointed out multiple times. It's just been a very tough night.
Well, the working man, Jeff Gable, he had model last night, so he's at the Rome game tonight. He just let us know it's a nail-biter, 52-0 Rome.
Wow. Flag comes in.
Yep. Delay a game. No. Oh, substitution infraction on the Tigers. So that'll be 5 yards going the other way.
So after the penalty, the ball is going to be at the 41-yard line. As Haralson County gets ready to go back to the ball, as you mentioned, running clock, 8:20 left to go in the football game. And it looks like we're going to be done a little early tonight, which has not been the case this season very often.
Not at all.
At all. There's the snap. Going to hand it off, runs it towards the near side. My goodness, another hard run. This was a new carry. I believe that was Bentley Felker.
It sure was. Number 24 checking into the game. As we see some new Rebels in on offense.
They got some depth on this football team, big time.
Not your typical single A roster.
Joel McCoy brings in the play call.
You were about to say Joe McCool, weren't you?
Joe McCool, yeah. And so McCoy is taking the snaps now from the shotgun. And he waits on the ball here on 1st and 10 from just about midfield. Ball's at the 49-yard line. There's the snap. Going to hand it off. They go back to the big boy again. This time Bentley Felker. And he's able to pick up a couple of yards there on that play. About 3 or 4 hard yards.
Well, we urge you to stick around after the show. We're going to be going to them early tonight, so we need your calls into the studio for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show with Austin and Lynn Butler. And if you're of the Darlington ilk, call in, talk to them about the ball game. If you're anybody in the area, give them a buzz. We need to hear it from you.
6:38 left to go in this one. Haralson County back to the line of scrimmage, which is at the 48-yard line. And got a new young man taking the snap here this time. That was, well, Joel McCoy again. Nope, that wasn't Joel McCoy.
22
that was 22, Noah Harden, a freshman. Yeah. So we've seen, 4 different guys take snaps tonight?
Yes, we have.
That's Maddox Rotten.
So that brings up 3rd down and 3 after they got the ball down to the 44-yard line. Again, in the play call this time is going to be Makai Warner, a freshman, for some fresh jerseys out there. Noah Harden comes back from the sidelines as well. Garrett Kress is going to trot off the field here for Haralson County. And the Rebels go back to the line of scrimmage with 5:44 left to go in the ball game, leading at 40-0. And we get ready for the snap here to Harden. He's got the ball. He's going to pop it over to number 7. That's Savon Griggs streaking down the sidelines, gets inside the 25. Savon Griggs with the carry.
Haralson making sure we mark everything on the roster.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. That young man is a junior who hasn't seen the field today, but he looks like he has some wiggle and speed too, doesn't he?
Oh, he got some fast wheels. There's no question about that. And right now, Haralson County's got the ball at the 26-yard line with 5 minutes to go here in this ball game.
And I want to take a minute just to point out that trailing 40-0 late in the fourth quarter, and this crowd they're here supporting their Tigers no matter what. So kudos to the Tigers fans for sticking with them through thick and thin.
Shotgun formation. There's the snap. Going to hand it off, run it up the middle, and he stays up, gets about 3 or 4 really hard yards on the play. That was number 24, Bentley Felker, the sophomore.
I tell you what, Matt, if this Pepperell score holds up, we're going to hear from an excited Clay after that game's over. They are leading Temple 27-14 in the fourth quarter.
Say that again. Oh my goodness.
27-14
Wow.
Pepperell leads at Temple.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the combined record of the teams that Temple has faced is not very good going into the game. I know they're a very good football team, but
they were beating them by large
like
margins.
60,
Yeah.
So 60, you know. Here's the snap. Going to run the football, quarterback draw, and the quarterback right now is Noah Harden. He's able to pick up a few yards and sets up a 3rd and short. About a 3rd and 3, maybe 3rd and 4. Ball is right about the 18-yard line, so Haralson County in the red zone with 3:32 left to go in the football game and the clock rolling.
You'll also be pleased to know that you're about to take a 5-game lead over me in the picks because Chattooga is up by a large margin over Armurchie.
Well, so. I have to say I'm not pleased. I was really rooting for Armurchie in that game,
but you'll take the 5-game lead.
Got a 5-game lead. Shotgun formation. We get ready for the snap. Harden's got it. It's going to hand it off to another one of their big backs. And did he get enough? He got pretty close, I think.
Yeah, right at the marker. And we'll see if they – nope, they're holding it. They're holding up the fist, meaning it's 4th down. But it's 4th down and a yard. So Haralson may just stay out here on the field with the running clock. It really doesn't matter too much, but a chance for your backups to execute a 4th down and short. I think they'll stay out there and take a chance.
And so Haralson County in the huddle right now as time wanes here in the football game. 2:23 left to go here in the game. And they go back to the line of scrimmage with Harden in at quarterback. He'll take the snap. He's going to hand it off, and they're able to get the yard or two that they needed for the 1st down, so that'll move the chains.
And depending on when they wind the clock here, Matt, I believe they could take a knee and go to victory formation.
Bentley Felker was the ball carrier on that previous play as well. And ball at the 15-yard line here with 1st and 10 for Haralson County. 1:46 and the clock ticking here in the final 2 minutes of the ball game. We're going to have a brief post-game show for you. And for Lynn back at the studio, if you guys are not ready to start the show when we're done, because we're going to be done pretty early, you can put it on Infinity Sports Network up until y'all are ready about 10. There's the snap. Going to hand it off, and they will run it inside the end zone. Number 24 is going to get a score there, Felker, from 15 yards out, and they will tack on some more points.
And opportunity for the backups, and they take advantage of it. Big Bentley Felker, just a sophomore. What are they feeding him in?
I do not know.
Good Lord. I do not remember this team being so bulky last year.
Well, Emilio Patino's going to get another shot to take a swing at it here for an extra point and try to make it a 47-0 football game as we get ready for the snap. And here it is. Kick is on the way, and that one's going to be through. And it looks like your final score, more than likely, is going to be 47-0. Tigers will have a little bit of time to work with and try to get some points on the board. At this point, man, you just want to have something positive happen to the end of the game.
Right.
It's been a tough night. But no doubt they'll regroup, and they'll be ready to go coming up next week as we make the 4-mile trek over to Lindale to face a Pepperell Dragons team that looks like they may come out with a big win here tonight.
Yeah. So they're going to survive the sewer, perhaps? Is that what I can't help myself, man.
Maybe a little context on that one there.
There's a sewer under the away stands.
Literally.
All the Darlington fans that went last year are familiar with it. So,
yeah, we got there and we're like, why is this built up like this so high? It looked unusual. And then, we got a little bit into the pregame and it's like, oh, that's why.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually remember we had to go under the stands, and that was when we discovered the sense of the sewer.
All right, Patino going to kick it away here to the Tigers. You're going to have a squib up the middle. One of the Tigers touched it. Falling on it is going to be Lane Brasington.
Yeah, good job there by Brasington, because that ball was live and bounced off a Tiger's hand as well. So it was a hot potato, and Brasington was able to dive on it. And Darlington will get one more opportunity with the football. The clock is rolling. So at the most, they'll get it maybe 3 to 4 snaps if they move quickly.
Preston Wilson on is one of the A-backs. He'll motion to the right. And now, hit ball is in the air. Matias Selle takes the pass here from Levi Duggan, gets across midfield. And a big play there for the Tigers.
And they will have to hustle to the ball with the running clock, but a nice play there for Matias.
So the ball at the 49-yard line in Haralson County territory, as the Tigers sure would love to put up a score here before the game is over. Disrupt the shutout. Quarterback is under center, getting ready to take the snap from just beyond midfield. Going to pitch it, goes to the near side. And with the football is Temple streaking down the sidelines. He stays up, shakes a couple of tackles, and then gets clobbered inside the 20-yard line. Took a hard hit, popped up really quick. That's a tough kid right there.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to spend a timeout, but they will end on a nice explosive play there. That's Temple. Man, that was not just speed. That was excellent agility on those cutbacks he made.
Oh, really were. Well, that is it, folks. The final score tonight is going to be 47-0, as that's the end of the ball game. We're going to take about a 2-minute timeout. We're going to send it back to the studio, and we'll come back, give you the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game, and bid you adieu. Get you ready for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show, and I would imagine that they're not quite ready for that yet. We're ending way early tonight, so again, Lynn, once we wrap up with this broadcast, if you would like to go to Infinity Sports Network for a little bit before you guys start, that is perfectly fine. So anyway, 47-0, your final score. We'll send it back to the studio for 2 minutes. Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game is coming up, followed by a brief post game.
CUSA Steel is a family-owned full-line steel service center located in Rome, Georgia. Since 1972, we've been working to make our customers more efficient by providing steel product supply and processing all in one place. We are proud to provide a large range of products, including hot-rolled and cold-finished steel, stainless steel, galvanized steel, aluminum, and alloys. Our capabilities enable us to assemble and process steel orders within days, shortening your lead time. CUSA Steel. Steel for your project.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center.
from Chris Hunter Stadium. First region game did not go according to plan. Tigers fall 47-0 is the final score of the football game. It is now time for the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game. 5th award of the season.
Yeah, and 5th different Tiger who will take home the cupcakes. On a night when a lot didn't go right for the Tigers, we're going to give the player of the game to a young man who prevented things from going further in that direction. Bo Powers, with one of the best hustle plays I've seen in a long time, fighting and taking away a sure fumble in the first half. And then in the second half, there was another fumble, and his awareness being there to scoop that up and prevent another turnover, along with some really nice runs, one of which got negated by a chop block in the first half that would have given Darlington a first down and extended a drive. So Bo Powers is our Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game this week.
All right, and that's going to put a wrap on our broadcast tonight. Again, your final score, 47-0. The Tigers fall at home. As far as the season record, they moved to 2-3 on the year, 0-1 in region. Meanwhile, the Haralson County Rebels are off to a really hot start. They're 4-1 and now 1-0 in region play. And again, one of the teams that is most improved of any team around the area. Definitely could be a contender in the region this year. But anyway, that's going to put a wrap on it for today. We'll let you know that coming up next Friday, we're hitting the road, but this time we're only going 4 miles. We're going down to Lindale over at Pepperell High School as the Tigers get ready to take on the Dragons. And man, definitely looking forward to an exciting matchup between two teams that really get after each other. So really looking forward to that rivalry game coming up next week down in Lindale. Should be a lot of fun. But anyway, that's going to put a wrap on it. Do want to recognize the crew one more time as we wind down for all their hard work that put into the broadcast tonight. You've got Bennett Abernathy and Afton Taylor on press box cameras, Caleb Bice with graphics sitting right next to us, Kate Travis on remote cameras today. Replay is Nathan Patterson, director is Mike Garrett, all the video crew there. I'm Matt Davis with Ian Griffin with commentary tonight. Thank you very much, Ian. Always enjoy working with you and appreciate you, man. And then Lynn Butler back at the studio, who is either getting ready for some Infinity Sports Network for a while, but we do have the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show coming up around 10, unless they go ahead and start it now. It's up to them. But anyway, that's going to put a wrap on our broadcast from here tonight. Wish we had a better result to let you know about, folks, but that's the way it goes in football sometimes. The Tigers will regroup, and I bet it'll be a much better game coming up next weekend. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be good stuff.
Absolutely.
Just kind of a tough night, kind of got off to a bad start and just never really got on track in this one. Not much else you can say about it.
That's about all you can say about a game like tonight's.
Yep. So that's going to put a wrap on it, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll wrap up here. Thanks for tuning in, and so long, everybody. Have a good night.